Hello and welcome to Everyday Journal number 136, your favorite, most deceptively known. Guys, this is the weirdest. Oh my god, didn't we just like on the last podcast say that we're never going to record from hotel rooms again? Yeah, look at us now. Like we have three dudes stuck in the tiniest hotel room we could find in Italy.
Finally. Hooray. Hey.
But we're kind of sponsored by Callum's work because Callum actually brought an audio interface here because we thought like, hey, let's bring our mics. Let's actually be professional. And for the last 1.5 hours, I've been trying to set this up, only to realize it wouldn't work the way I wanted to. But hey, here we are. Shoutouts to all our Patreons. I just realized we literally have absolutely no show notes. So if you sign up to the Patreon, you're gonna get the biggest shout out on the next episode. Also, preemptive shoutouts to all of our Grizzlebrand and actually to all of our patrons. I don't have show notes here, and I'm sorry I don't remember all the names right now.
Arigato.
But you made this work. We paid for this hotel room with podcast funds, so thank you so much. And guys, we are here in is it Bologna? I'm pretty sure, right?
Oh yeah, we are at the.
It is Bologna. We're at the. I've forgotten the name.
Bella Italia.
Yeah.
You can't speak into this from the side. It won't work. You literally have to point it at you. Otherwise, people are not going to hear. We have Kai and Callum. Actually, let me take a picture of you. This is so adorable.
So we are sharing a mic because the interface apparently doesn't work with Julian's computer exactly.
No,
I'm going to blame it on
Windows.
Julian.
This is one of the rare cases where a Mac would actually be better.
Basically, we're blaming it on Julian. But we're here, so me and Kai are cute, sharing a mic together. Julian's there. And yeah, we decided to record something in our bedroom. So we're trying to do one now to give like our expectations, what it is, and then maybe we'll do a wrap up one Monday morning.
Monday morning when I have to leave for my train at like 6 a.m. While Kai is playing around with his new sex toy. It looks like a gimbal, but I think it's actually a sex toy. Kai, how is it working?
I just gotta figure it out. I kind of want to make some photographs on the way.
The photographs, that's what you call it. Awesome. So yeah, we just had breakfast. I actually gotta say this was an amazing breakfast. Like the scrambled eggs, holy shit! I've been dying to make them the way they do, but it couldn't really work. And all of the guys are here. Like even the guys from the US, everybody came here. And I think shoutouts to our friends in Finland who didn't make the cut. I was gonna say
that was sad. So there was like flights were cancelled, and then it was just too late to get a train to Munich. I think was their connection or something.
Well, I don't know. That's also gonna be like,
or maybe it's just flights from Helsinki as well. Yeah.
You know, I'm actually taking a video of Kai right now because Kai is using his gimbal. He's so happy about it.
So anyone listen to this, you'll see lots of funny videos and pictures of these two numbnuts.
Yeah, this is actually I should do it landscape. Landscape is how you're supposed to do it. Cool. It's just like works so much better. This is not a picture. Like everybody when you take videos, everybody's like posing for it. Okay.
But yeah, we are here at the hotel, and today is Teams. Teams is gonna be really fun. It starts at 1 or 2 p.m. We still haven't worked it out.
Literally nobody knows. Like we haven't even submitted the deck list. It's 11:30. We still
I've submitted my deck list. Excuse me.
Oh, you're a professional.
Yeah. I've submitted my Chaos Defilers. I've been on the fence about White Initiative. You guys are looking at me like I'm the enemy. I
have no idea. Like, dude, yeah. I played against White Initiative. Actually, we were supposed to call it something else, right? Because like,
Dungeon Stompy.
White Initiative. Yeah. Well, who actually made us aware of that? Was it Justin? No.
I can't remember.
Somebody at the bar yesterday was like, dude, you guys talk about White Initiative. It's like...
Stefan Schütz, no?
Yeah, Stefan said that.
I think Stefan said that.
Let's go with I like Dungeon Stompy just like so much better.
Okay. I mean, I mentioned it to Callum already, but like he can play whatever he wants, right? But I will like it will just make me really sad if I stand next to a Thalia player. That's all I can say.
Aren't we called Team Thalia?
We are. Actually, yeah, it's called Team Sadia. It's
Sadia.
Like like the only good part about it is that we pronounce it like in the Japanese way, but
it actually say Salia.
Yeah, it's Team Sadia.
They're even worse than Germans at TH.
Well, cool. Yeah, here you are. I think we have a pretty packed and stacked schedule for this weekend. I think.
I have no idea, guys. I know that
I think like today is like the most chill day of them all because it is the afternoon, like 1-2 p.m. team event. It's gonna be like about 5-6 rounds or something like that.
I would guess, yeah.
Plus a top 4. You know, I mean, let's see if we can like get this far. But
I actually feel kind of guilty because one of you guys actually created a proper schedule on like Google Sheets with like everything.
That'd be Kai.
Yeah, and like it has all the information in it, and I've been on that page like twice. And one was like to shitpost, the other one was to like put in when I'm gonna arrive. And now that I remember, actually we even had a section what to bring.
I looked at it last night and I was like, okay, I need to bring my clothes and a legacy deck.
And you had something else.
And a microphone.
And something else.
and a large cardboard cutout of Kai,
Exactly.
which I
and I
do
still
have.
don't
I
see
do
it
have.
here. Imagine if we did that. Like if we brought first the two of us arrive at the table, and then you just put the cardboard cutout
Just
Kai
for
there.
me in my bedroom and to bring to the tournament. Yeah,
This is my
I'll bring it for
emotional
ELM
support,
tomorrow.
Kai.
That's so good. So like just in case if I just miss my flight, right? They have the cardboard version of Kai. Yeah, it's not bad. It's like a plan B.
Yeah.
That was the idea for when Kai misses the flight. We've got him to stand in, and one of us can play two decks for the team at the
Doomsday,
same time.
you just play it on the side, easy.
Doomsday is so easy. Like you just go, directional Doomsday, gosh.
Yeah. Actually, we should talk about what
It's
the
a
team
no-brainer.
event is actually going to look like. So this is going to be Vintage, Legacy, and Modern. And of course, as the very best Modern player out of us, I'm going to have the honor of casting Murktide Regent and a couple of other those cards.
You lucky thing. That could be Legacy or Vintage as well, to be fair. You should have said Ragavan.
Okay, yeah, true. I
Yeah.
thought you were referring to the very best Modern player. Could be Legacy or Vintage.
Yeah,
Oh, is this a compliment? What the fuck? No.
We don't do compliments on this podcast.
We don't yeah. So, guys, what are you going to play in your respective formats?
So I was gonna say like I think it was quite interesting that most people assumed that Callum's gonna be on the legacy seed, right? And
He has
a
no
lot of
range,
people
right?
put me on
That's the idea,
vintage,
or
so
what
here
is
I am. Yeah, just like stinging some ancestor recalls and Black Lotus. I was really between a Tinker deck, like a Tinker Time Vault Key Monkey with a Saga kind of deck, and Doomsday, but I could only bring 8 kilograms of luggage, hand luggage with me, and so I couldn't bring a lot of cards. So I thought, just like why don't I play the same deck in Legacy and Vintage?
But I told you about the travel hack, right? On basically every airline, you get to bring like your hand luggage, which is usually 8 kilograms. But what they don't tell you is you also get to bring a laptop bag. And you just stuff whatever you have in there.
Oh, I don't have a laptop though.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
I just put
like
cards in my laptop bag.
It doesn't even need to be a laptop bag. It could be like a lady's purse or whatever. Like you can bring an extra piece of hand luggage, even though it says only one piece of extra hand luggage.
Dude, that's just cheating.
That's a travel hack. Like when I went to Kenya, I put in like my laptop, my iPad, my Switch, and a couple of like power banks. That thing was heavier than my actual hand luggage, but it looked tiny
That
because
is
I put all the heavy
insane.
stuff in
It's
there.
like don't mind those like 5 laptops.
Yeah, the thing is like if it falls down from the overhead tray, it actually like it might like put a hole in the airplane. So
Holy crap. Okay, yeah, but anyways, I'm the vintage player for today. Hope I don't hope I go out with a positive record. Like
what? We want way more. Like I'm gonna crash and burn in Modern.
Let's see how far I can carry you guys. Yeah.
I think our expectations may be slightly different.
It's like, oh, I want a positive record. Oh, Kai. Oh.
I mean, I hope we do well. We'll see. I hope we don't come last. So I'm playing Legacy. Yeah, it was a toss-up between me and you doing Modern or Vintage Legacy. And we both were like, don't really mind. And so you decided to let the Discords and patrons decide.
Yeah.
And they voted for me for Legacy. So
Yeah, but the thing is, we let the Discord patrons on Kai's channel decide.
Exactly. And they voted for Callum.
hell yeah. So I
Yeah.
get to play some lovely Legacy. It was the best 5 subs to Kai that I just made alts. Yeah. So that was totally worth it.
You got your whole family like on Amazon Prime, just like this time, please use it.
Yeah. So I'm gonna play Legacy. We can submit deck lists like until the last minute. So I'm between White Initiative and Painter. I'm playing Painter in ELM and 99% sure on Sunday. So I might play White Initiative just to mix it up and just to piss off Kai. Cast some Thalias next to him.
I mean, our team name is literally Team Sadia. Like we cannot play a non-Thalia deck at this point, right? Like it's almost like set in stone.
All right, fine. So I'm gonna play White Initiative for the team
I mean, I
event now.
could play Thalia, I could splash it and like Blue Red Murktide. I
Turn
could put it in
two.
a sideboard.
Turn to Thalia, cast my Bauble, get a game loss.
Is there actually like a playable Thalia deck in Vintage?
Vintage, yeah. It's White Initiative.
Wait, Vintage has a White Initiative.
Oh,
Dungeon
yes.
Stompy, here we go.
I just saw a friend just messaged me like literally 10 minutes ago saying why Principe, one of the Magic Online like Spanish grinders, he's like 503 Vintage leagues in a row with White Dungeon Stompy.
White Dungeon Stompy.
It's like Hate Bears. It has 4 Archon, 4 Spirit of the Labyrinth, Thalias, blah, blah,
So
blah.
I asked this question because I've been out of the loop for 3 weeks. Are we gonna see any bans out of this? And then I got so much hate, and Andrea like called me out on it.
I love Andrea's just absolute on point sarcasm with like, yes, you have to talk about bans every day. It's just how the world works. Modern players not talking about bans? What the fuck is going on?
No, the thing is, like, I usually wouldn't, but since I've been so much out of the loop, you know, sometimes when you got like Breach, like after the first week of Breach, you already felt like this is not gonna stay.
It was a lame duck format after a couple of weeks.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
after a couple of weeks. Okay,
Yeah.
so Dungeon Stompy is not anywhere close to that.
I don't think so. I was talking to Stefan last night. We were playing a few games and talking about the deck, and it's really good. It's probably like it's weird to have a deck that just goes straight into tier 1. Like we haven't really had that before, so it's new.
Eldrazi, I guess.
Eldrazi is a perfect description actually because it plays similarly and it's a deck that's just slotted straight into tier 1. But it just, I don't know. For me, it loses normal games of Magic. It can lose to Daze and Wasteland and just lots of removal on the creatures. Like it's super strong. Don't get me wrong. Like removal is not good against the deck inherently because it plays the initiative to like gain advantage. But like when I've been playing myself, it just feels like a very high tier 1 deck, not like broken that needs.
Yeah, you know something
action.
I noticed is if you play removal spells and 1-mana creatures, if you go turn 1-1-mana creature, and then turn 2 you have a removal spell, you still back the initiative, and it's actually kind of hard for them to get it back because they don't have haste creatures, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think Delver is just well positioned. The card Delver, I mean, not the deck. Like people have been cutting Delvers from the deck and playing Ledger Shredders and Third Path Iconoclast now and stuff. I mean, playing White Stumpy, just facing a Tome on Delver on the draw is like shit. Like it's gonna fly over. Flying is good against the deck.
So it's literally hashtag not good against Delver.
Where you asked me this question on the last episode, saying, "What do you not want to play against?" And I said Delver, and you were like, "Oh, of course."
I mean, that's pretty healthy though.
Yeah,
It's almost like Doomsday.
Yeah. Pour one out for Doomsday, who's going to have to face all the Torpor Orbs and Hushbringers this weekend, and Dress Downs, and oh my god.
It's gonna be like a Torpor massacre this weekend. But I've heard that the Mono White Initiative has a pretty poor matchup against our lands. Is at least like what I picked
Really?
up. Like yeah, well that's what people have been saying.
That's so weird because I saw people on Twitter saying, wasn't it Ali? Ali?
Yeah.
He said he would play lands because he thinks it's good against Dungeon Stompy. But then he also said, actually, I never played it. I just figured. And then I saw somebody else comment on it, and they said, "Oh, this deck destroys lands."
So basically, his idea was Glacial Chasm is the key to it, and someone said, "Yeah, I got Glacial Chasm. It didn't do what it wanted," and he said, "No, you need to build around it." Makes sense. I think he did end up playing against it, and he didn't win because the trap room, the lose 5 life room.
I was going to say,
yeah, it gets around that, and he needs to then Glacial Chasm says you can't attack. And so if you don't have the initiative when you start the Chasm lock, you need to be able to get like a Marital Age quickly, and they have like swords and solitudes. Yeah.
Wait, so our idea of like ensnaring bridge also wouldn't work all that way?
No. So it's a hard deck to lock out. Again, it's has like multiple axes it plays on. Like, you know, you try this ensnaring bridge, Glacial Chasm locks and stuff, and the initiative will win eventually, losing 5 life and stuff. So I think maybe his idea was punishing fire like them down. I can't remember.
Come on! Like so punishing fire is I mean, you already lost me punishing fire in any kind of format for anything.
I didn't look at his list. I'm just saying how lands would beat the initiative with a Glacial Chasm.
Would it though? Okay.
Because the trap room, it's gonna take like 5 or 6 turns to go around.
But you can also like boost it, right? If you play
more creatures. Yeah. But like I don't know, lands is dredging loam, playing explorations, going crazy.
I mean, I guess the best thing about it would be like the Wasteland lock because the deck is so mana hungry.
Yeah, I mean the Wasteland lock is thing because I was thinking about Wastelands for the mirror and stuff, but I don't know. They play 3 basics. The first one they get off the initiative, and they play Chrome Mox and Lotus Petal and Soul Lands. It's a hard deck to mana screw. Like you can do it, obviously, but it's
I did it with the Painter.
Yeah,
I just like
blast their lands.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
The thing you told me to basically never do. I just like I went hard on it.
No, you
just like Ancient Tomb, out of here.
You do it sometimes.
And then they had Chrome Mox, but they shut down their own Chrome Mox with Nylrod or something. I was okay, sure.
Cool. You know, you can when you play Painter, if you have like a white card on the Chrome Mox, then you name blue. It taps white and blue.
I know.
Yeah,
it's
a cool one.
In addition.
Yeah, in addition. Yeah. But yeah, so all right, fine. I'm gonna play White Initiative today. I really enjoy the deck, and it's obviously fun to play a good deck as well. I have registered like Chaos Painter with Chaos Defiler, but I'll play that on Sunday. So yeah, ELM tomorrow is gonna be normal mono red. That's my comfort zone. Sunday is gonna be Chaos Defiler, my testing out. I've played 3 matches with it. I played 5 games with Stefan last night against Delver, and he won 4 of them. Stefan Schutz, yeah, mental mistake.
I got a message. We should like mention last names more often.
Yes, that's a good point.
It's not such an elitist thing, right?
No.
That's Stefan. That's this guy. Also, I didn't mention Ali's last name.
It's Ali on Magic Online.
Exactly.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
We can get around it by mentioning.
Because his name is Albert Lindblom.
Actually, what is Stefan called on Magic Online?
Mental misstep.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And isn't he like on Twitter?
He's king of traitors on Twitter.
Yeah, I don't know where the name came from, but it's amazing.
It's a guy from the Theros set. It's a card from Throw set.
I will trust you on that.
Yeah. Cool. And then what are you playing?
Well, I didn't really know what I was gonna play in Modern. I wanted to play like the most stupid direct combo deck I could find, and some people told me like, oh, you should play like Cascade or something, like Rhinos, and I don't hate that. But in the end, I played like out of the last 2 years, the only deck I really played in Modern was like Blue-Red Murktide, or even like before Murktide. So I just figured, okay, Andrea Mangucci actually posted, oh, this is the best deck in Modern. I'm like, if Andrea says so, and he even posted a list, I'm just gonna grab it, send it to Callum, and then we play that. So I actually have to take a look at my deck list again.
Wait, so have you ever had like a testing game with this deck?
Yeah. I played it actually for quite a bit, but not this exact deck list. I played it like a month or two ago, like quite a bit. No, the thing is because you know I do commentary for the Energy series, right? And I used to be the Legacy guy, and I guess I still am together with Anurag. And they asked me, hey, we really love your stuff. Would you also mind doing other formats? And I was like, yeah, sure. What else? Like Modern. And I mean, so I started playing Modern and started looking into Modern and started learning Modern, because I don't want to be like, this is a big flying dragon. I don't know if the other guy is going to have the removal spell, which I don't even know which he's supposed to draw. But so I learned it, and I kind of understand it, but I don't like understand the intricacies of it, and there might be some things I might be. So you basically what I'm saying is, you guys win your matches, and then
it looks like Callum and I are gonna take care of Julian like after we're done. So I think like the Mono White Initiative and Doomsday are pretty good choices, because our games will be over relatively soon, quickly, and then we can focus all on some modern action, right? Yeah.
Honestly, like after we talked about this, I think you guys know more about the current state of Modern than I do. Like I wouldn't mind if you guys had like drawn your matches, like one of you won, the other one lost. If just like I think Kai, you know a lot about it. You literally just sat down and played instead of me.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's
if we can swap player. Yeah. Because I always keep up. I don't think you can do that. I think you can tell it.
It doesn't say anywhere in the rules that you can't, right? On the other hand, it would basically be like you walking into my match and like picking up the top card from the deck. Yeah, it would be weird.
Like, I don't know if you want me to Mindslaver you the whole time.
Yeah. I mean, honestly,
now you're gonna draw this, and now you're gonna tap like this.
Yeah. Anyway, we see how this works out. But yeah. I just like Archmage's Charm. I like stealing stuff, and
also Ragavan. But yeah, like here's a small thing, you know, like Ragavan not as powerful as in Legacy. Like Modern is pretty removal heavy, and it's like a lot of bullshit on the battlefield.
Yeah,
so,
just this morning at breakfast, I actually learned that I'm always supposed to dash Ragavan against Ren and 6 decks.
Yep, basically, because it sucks if it gets pinged. When you go like Turn 1 Ragavan and they just play Ren and 6.
You literally, like if you're on the draw, you literally don't go Turn 1 Ragavan if you have it.
Never.
No.
Almost never.
What?
Pretty sure no.
You have Spell Pierce though. Like you can't fight.
Yeah, but if you're on the draw, you can't do it.
Yeah, but no, I'm sorry. On the play you can play and then you know.
Yeah, okay.
Or
on the play, you can get in the first hit before they get the
yeah.
N6, yeah.
And yes, I let Ragavan against Mem Knight. Powerhouse Mem Knight.
Dude, what am I doing to myself in this format? Like seriously, I should have picked like at least a stupid, boring combo deck to be like, I don't know what I'm doing.
I was going to suggest Rhinos, but then you sent me this.
Yeah, Living End. I played Living End at GP Prague 2014.
That was like old Living End. Now you have Fury, Subtlety, Force of Vigor.
Also,
isn't it like the best deck in the format?
It is quite powerful.
Really?
Yeah, it's kind of like the show and tell deck of the format. I want to say, like it's super streamlined.
Can we still proxy that? Like we walk up to the reception. Okay, we have like these 7 pages of cards. Can you please print them on your paper?
Exactly.
Oh, you're like the.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna lose a bunch to like endurance and things like that, but you know that's the charm of Modern, I guess.
I think the Rhinos is probably even better, like because now they have Leyline Binding as well.
Mm-hmm.
Some play Yorion, but like it's just 4-color Rhinos, and I think mostly 60 cards, and it doesn't lose to like endurance and
so the thing
and
is,
stuff.
I'm actually aiming for a positive record, and then I'm gonna heavily rely on you guys to just like sweep it.
Now I'm playing a better deck as well. I've got all the pressure on me. I feel like
there's a lot of pressure off you guys by putting me in the Modern seat.
Well, look, we're talking about how Modern's going to be we'll see. Kai is hoping for a positive record with his busted tier 0 vintage deck, and so we're gonna do great.
The thing is, like, if it's only gonna be like barely 6 rounds, like 4 and 2 is gonna make it, unless you like lose early or something.
Yeah, I don't know how many teams there'll be.
I mean, let's say that we know for Sunday there's going to be over 400 players for Legacy, like 430, 40 or something.
Roughly.
And then let's say half of them play today, and then divided by 3, that's like 80 teams or something, 70 teams.
It's quite a lot.
So it's if it's like less than 64
rounds?
teams, then it's going to be 6 rounds.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and also I think that before we jump into the tournament, we really gotta make sure now.
I think we're already very deep into this one.
Oh yeah, so we don't split, right?
No,
Never.
we don't.
Never.
Split. Like,
Okay.
why would we
Can we like make an oath or something?
An oath, the Peach Garden oath.
A peach garden oath, okay?
Okay, you're too far away, guys. Okay, here we go. Here we go.
Okay, nice dude. Yeah, no splitting. Just
No splits, kill them all.
honest, real magic. Hell yeah.
But Sunday is going to end very, very late, and we're going to have some very, very annoyed people about splitting if that happens. So Sunday, 430 players. That's going to be like 10 rounds
Easily
before
10
our top
rounds.
8. That's a lot of legacy.
The thing is, like, it's borderline GP levels. Like, I think the smallest GP I ever heard about was in Mexico somewhere, but with like 500 something. So I'm not even sure if we could get to a point where we would need to play like 8 rounds.
Yeah.
The only positive thing is there's no buys, right? Without buys, we at least like don't artificially increase the number of people to maybe need more rounds.
Yes. But yeah, no, I mean, I think there's going to be some assumption on Sunday that people are splitting, but it depends how many non-Italians make the top 8.
Oh, because I want to like Dream Crush?
Well, no, because I mean, what happened last 4 seasons was the final was played out because they split and then they played for glory.
Oh, when Mark and
I
Get
forgot
me
his
out.
name. It was the Doomsday guy.
Yeah, no, Dalibor.
Dalibor, yeah, that's
Yeah,
it. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, we'll see how it goes on Sunday. But today, like,
Well,
no,
Sunday I could see splitting. Like if it actually goes until like 2 in the morning or something. Yeah,
it is going to go until 2 in the morning.
yeah, easily.
And they're going to want to go
I mean,
home.
look at us now. We talk about like, oh, are we gonna split the top 8 on Sunday with the 10 round event or not? It's just like, oh, 2 drops. See you, GG.
yeah. True.
See you at the bar. There's actually gonna be a bar at the event, right?
Apparently 2.
Apparently 2.
Two.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, and speaking of that, Kai committed the ultimate sin. Kai, guys, imagine like if you go to Italy, what would be the ultimate sin?
Oh no. So yesterday we went to this funky place.
We wanted to watch Germany against Costa Rica, and Germany won, but we actually lost.
Yeah, Japan.
Task failed successfully.
Japan. I'm happy. Everyone's happy. And so we ordered some food and some drinks, and I was like, dude, I gotta order I haven't had Italian food for a month.
For a month?
Yeah,
Oh my God,
I
that's crazy.
purposely didn't make any Italian food just in preparation for this event. And like yesterday, I was like, I gotta kill some pizzas, right? And like we went to this
British Empire sports bar or something?
English pub or something, and just got like the worst pizza in my life.
That's where you went wrong. Do not go to an English bar in Italy. Just this is totally on you. No.
Oh gosh, it was like some weird pizza with some ham on it. Mortadella. So here's like a secret Salvatorix tip for today. Advice: never order any pizza with some mortadella. It's just, it ruins you.
You basically only told half the story. So let me
also like the reason why I ordered it was because I thought it was mozzarella, and I read mortadella, and it's like, dude, it's gotta be like a little typo or something, you know? Like, just gotta order it regardless. It sounds really good. Yeah. And also I had a red wine, and usually you pick between like Merlot and I don't know, Chardonnay and whatever. Oh, is Chardonnay even red?
White wine, right?
Oh, shit. Like Merlots and other Merlots, and then there was like this other red wine. It had a really funky name. I just can't remember. It was just so good.
Serra Sassi.
Just
something with that.
Whatever, right? But it sounded so good. It was like, yeah, I want that. And Julian asked me like, it's like, how does it taste? It must be really good. And it's like, I don't know.
The thing is, like, Kai walked in.
Sounds really nice.
And he looked at it, and he specifically asked for that kind of red wine. And I was like, oh, he seemed like so confident. He must know something about it. So I was like, maybe I'm going to try this out. Because I was going to go for Merlot, and I ended up going for Merlot. And I asked Kai, Kai, so what does it taste like? He looks at me like, I have no idea. I just like the name.
He's got to be fancy.
Super fancy, right? And at that point, I should have actually ordered the pizza for you, because you also ordered didn't you order the pizza because you liked? Oh no, because of mozzarella.
Yeah, because of mozzarella.
Yeah. But I thought you ordered it because the name was so
but
fancy.
like this whole story kind of translates really nicely into like Legacy, because like in Legacy it's all about like just sounding really smart. And like coming up with like questionable card choices, and like, I mean, I guess that makes a lot of sense, right? And then a lot of people were like, I guess that makes a lot of sense, and it really doesn't,
Yeah, the story of Popeye Stumpy. But anyway,
my favorite meme is put a 5-drop in the sideboard. Yeah, it's for the grindy matchups.
Yeah, as you do. But the thing is, like, what makes it a sin? Kai actually sent back the pizza.
No. I mean,
imagine going to Italy, ordering pizza, and fucking sending it back.
It's like ordering a frappuccino. Like you just don't do that in Italy, right?
I don't even know what that is.
Well, it's a Starbucks thing, but
sounds good though. It sounds really
I
good.
mean,
I would order that.
It's Frappuccino? Okay, that sounds like Fappuccino. Like, I don't know.
it's just like sweet coffee from Starbucks and stuff. But you don't send pizzas back. But it was an English bar, and I sympathize. English food is awful.
But honestly, that bar was horrible. They didn't even do like table service. Like, you literally had to buy your food at one place, then you had to pick it up at another place with like a coupon or something. It was like, I'm not sure about. Actually, Nicolo recommended the place. I'm gonna play Nicolo.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, Nicolo. By the way, if you listen, you're amazing.
Like Nicolo's the coverage master of the Four Seasons Bologna.
Exactly.
We can see that much. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, he probably recommended it just because it showed the football, not because it was good.
Yeah. I was asking for that.
It does sound like you found probably the worst bar in Bologna. Congratulations, guys.
My burger was kind of good.
For the record, I wasn't here yet, so I couldn't control it.
Yeah.
Couldn't look after you.
Later on, we actually you ordered another pizza later on, right? But we went to a different
Yeah,
bar.
we went like to like this one like cafe kind of place. Like had some chairs and tables outside. It was freezing cold yesterday, but we were there like for an hour regardless.
Yeah.
And came back, we had a good long like hangout at the hotel lobby until like 2 a.m. or something.
And more people kept coming in.
Oh
like,
yeah, it was good. It was real good. Yeah.
like
a lot of like familiar faces, but I gotta say like since I came here for the very first time to Bologna, I just met a lot of people for the first time, right? Like a lot of like those British people, or like other people from Austria and
from like exotic
what other
countries
countries?
such
Netherlands,
as
right? And like
Austria.
even the strange places like Austria, like they're here.
You know, there's always this moment where when you meet somebody and they introduce themselves and you're like, oh, I don't know you, but what's your magic online name? Oh, this is. Oh, yes, of course, yeah.
I had the best one. So yeah, yesterday evening I say hi to an Italian guy who's with a friend of mine, and I say, oh, my name is Franco, and I'm like, okay, cool, my name is Callum. So, oh, Callum Smith, like Cloud Goat Ranger. I'm like, yeah, cool. You're Zio Francone, and then we start hugging. We're like, oh, dude, it's so cool.
Yeah, we don't use our real. Actually, I should have picked. I keep going back to this, right? I should have picked like a proper nickname.
Yeah.
I still hate that.
Magma Lord
3000.
And there was also like with Stefan Schultz, who's Mental Misstep, and Franco, they were like, "Hi, what's your name? Cool, I'm Zio. I'm Franco. I'm Stefan." And they're like, "Mental Misstep. Oh, Zio Franco. Oh my God, we played so many times, dude. I love you."
That has some serious vibes from the 90s. Like when you play Counter-Strike and stuff, and like nobody knew each. Like even your teammates, you wouldn't sometimes know them by the first name. You just like know them by Headshot Killer 2K and stuff. Like, oh yes, Headshot Killer, sure, that's me. Oh, you're the most lovely guy.
Absolute favorite story. I think I might have said it on the podcast before, and I told it to Kai last night. Is so anyone that plays lots of Magic Online leagues, legacy leagues, will know the daddy, the_daddy, the Dredge Master, and he is the Dredge Master. And he's from England. He's from up north, and he came to one of our like London events just before COVID, actually. And this guy came up to me at the event and said, "Are you Callum? Like white faces on Magic Online?" And he's like, "I'm like, yeah. Who are you?" He's like, "I'm the daddy. I'm the daddy." And I just had to burst out laughing. Like, "Oh, dude, it's the best." and so now he's great, and he leans into it. He's like, "Yeah, it's the most ridiculous name." But shout outs to the daddy. And who's going to make the mummy on Magic Online one day?
Yeah, but didn't we actually learn yesterday that only 2 people in Legacy still play Dredge?
Orem doesn't even play these days, so it's
Yeah,
Mafun Van Gogh, the forgotten his name, Brazilian guy, and the daddy.
Isn't that the guy who also like played Popeye Stompy or something?
No, that's no.
Didn't we talk? Okay, anyway.
That's Maritz Cabronte or something.
Okay,
yeah.
So I get the feeling like none of us really takes this team event very seriously, right?
Excuse me. Excuse me.
Excuse-moi. We don't
I'm
even know
registering
when it starts.
Thalia, Guardian of Thraben, for Team Osadia.
Team Osadia. Oh god, we gotta introduce ourselves. So, does Thalia have like lieutenants and stuff?
Yeah, Thalia's lieutenants.
Yeah.
Thalia. Thalia's lieutenant, and then the third one is gonna be like.
Thalia's lieutenant. He used to be played in standard. It's a good card. You can.
It's a 2-drop, yeah.
No, it's a 5-drop. Kai.
Wait, it's a 5-drop?
It's a 5-mana 4/4 with
No,
first strike.
No,
when it
that's no
ETBs
way. No.
Yeah.
This guy comes to play, like, puts counters on.
No, you guys are right. My bad. My bad.
Just like, you're the mono white player, dude.
No, okay. Thalia's Lieutenant is the 2-drop that ETBs, puts a counter on each human, and it gets counters when humans go. Thalia's Lancers is what I'm thinking of.
Oh god, that's like a draft card.
Alright, Kai can be Thalia's Lancer. Julian can be the
Honestly,
Lieutenant.
Thalia's Lancer, that has like a Nazi vibe to it almost. Like, let's not go with that.
Okay.
Honestly,
Really?
like Wizards sometimes picks card names, but like if you're German, it's like, I don't know, man. Like that third path guy, like, oh. But anyway,
I'm gonna trust you on that, then. I have no idea.
no. That's just. I think I mentioned that. Like, there's like a right.
I've seen those before.
Yeah.
Kai's looking up Thalia's Lancers now. 5 mana, 4/4, first strike. ETB search your library for a legendary card. Yeah.
Wait, and that was used to be played in standard.
Yeah, you found like
Thalia.
found like Gisela, Avacyn.
Is that the one you made
The
together?
meld, yeah.
Maybe we can play that in Dragon.
I'm playing a meld card in Painter.
Oh, but only one half of it, right?
Yeah, true. I'm cheating. Yeah, it's not fair.
No,
Yeah.
but seriously, so tomorrow's the I keep calling it the
European
Eternal
Legacy Masters.
Come on, don't fuck it up.
European Legacy Masters. European Legacy Masters. Here we go. And Callum, what am I actually playing tomorrow?
You're playing Dungeon Stompy.
I'm the least prepared guy in the world.
Yeah.
Like, actually, I never told this, right? I came back from Kenya to Germany on the night from like Tuesday to Wednesday. Then on Wednesday, I basically spent all day like doing laundry, packing my stuff, and like I was basically done at midnight, and also editing the new podcast episode.
Yeah.
And I have played almost no Magic in the last 3 weeks, and new deck in the format.
In your defense, you said like 3 weeks ago, you were like, I'm not going to play at all, and you guys have to look after me.
Yeah, but it feels so weird. Like I came here, I didn't even have
Yeah.
a deck. Like you prepared decks for me. I'm
Yeah.
still not sure what I'm gonna play tomorrow, but you're gonna play.
I'm going to play Painter tomorrow.
Okay, you're set on Painter, so
I'm 100% locked into Painter for tomorrow, and I'm like 99% locked into Painter for Sunday, so
Okay.
you can play Dungeon Stompy.
awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Kai, you have any ambitions to play anything else other than Doomsday?
I feel like for the ELM, a lot of people will probably pick up their signature deck. I think for the
Really?
most part. I think so.
I thought like people would be like, oh, I'm gonna dodge this and that, and people are metagame against me. But I heard there's gonna be like 80 people. I thought it was gonna be like this super exclusive tournament.
Yeah,
of,
dude,
like 24 or something.
It's not too bad. There's like a lot of legacy going on at the same time because there's the ELM and then there's also another legacy event at the basically next to it, right?
Okay.
With like all the non-selected people,
The
non-selected people. It
players,
sounds
the
so bad.
non-qualified
Anyway, but
The
yeah,
trash mobs,
like
no.
I think for the first time, I think for the ELM, like a lot of people are probably like expecting certain players to show up with like certain decks, right? So I cannot I prepared Blue Red Delver.
You did?
Not just kidding. No, I'm gonna play Doomsday, dude. I got no other option. And also, I just made it my habit to only bring the 75 I want to use in the tournament. So I literally don't have any options to change my deck last minute because it will probably drive you crazy. And I've done it a couple of times. It never worked out, so it never will.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know, man. Like it feels so weird. I'm really excited for this tournament, for all 3 tournaments, but I got like no ambition at all, which is like so unlike me. Like I used to be the guy. I used to brain myself into every single tournament, into every single deck. I used to play like hundreds of games, matches at least. And now I'm just like here. Came back from Kenya. By the way, our car broke down to the airport on the way to the airport in Kenya. Like we were stranded in the jungle. Like the radiator broke and like it was like super bad. And then there was like a guy on a motorbike coming by, and we just like flagged him down. We're like, hey, can we get a mechanic? And then he brought a mechanic from the next village like half an hour later. And I told you guys, right? I'm pretty sure this was like a fake mechanic because all the guy did was like come here. Then he took on like an overall and he started looking at the thing, and you just in Swahili, I don't know what he said. He just went like, and then we paid him, and then he left. Just like, okay, thank you very much
Good
for your
job.
service.
Good job, guy.
He basically came in there, he looked at it, he was like, yeah, it's fucked. Sorry, see you. Thank you. This is my PayPal number. I was like, give me the money. Okay, see you. But yeah, we made it work. We ordered somebody else to pick us up eventually. We made it to the airport. But yeah, this is my way to unwind now because Kenya has been somewhat stressful. Getting back from Kenya has been stressful. Yesterday has been stressful. But now I'm here and now I just need to tap cards.
Yeah, don't stress about it. Like the ambition thing is because you've not been able to play the last 3 weeks, and I would get that as well. Like you can't be super enthusiastic and like driven and have that motivation to like crush your enemies and see them driven before you if you haven't been able to prepare for it, even think about it at all. And you haven't really like had a deck that completely works for you apart from kind of Painter recently.
That's a very nice way of saying you.
Not works. You can win with anything, but like you haven't had your deck for a bit, right?
The thing is, if it's not elves, and like I'm not super high on elves right now,
yeah,
it would be Delver, and nobody can really claim Delver as like, oh, I'm the signature guy for Delver, except for like I don't know, like cool Ducat. Like Daniel actually used to be like the diver guy for a while. And
He
I
just
guess
plays whatever's best, and it just always is best.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, see that's how you don't really make Delver your deck.
No. But what I mean is like you often go through phases. Like Elves was a very long phase of where like, well, it's like me with Painter.
You're making it worse, man.
No.
You're really making it
I'm
worse.
trying to make it like a way, not mean way that it makes sense. Like for me, for years, I didn't have a deck that I signify with. Like now it's Painter, but like for years, like before a tournament, I would lose motivation and drive because I'm just like trying to find what works. But I'd also have this thing where like I don't ever really want to play Delver as well. So it's like finding somewhere in the middle between good enough, but I like enough and stuff. And so that's what I was trying to explain.
Okay.
Not trying to like be mean to you.
No, it's just like if I really wanted to try, I would probably play Delver. Why am I actually not playing Delver?
You didn't ask me.
Oh
for it?
no, because I was too lazy, and you were gonna bring Dungeon Stompy, and I remember. See now,
Yeah.
it all makes so much more sense. You told me you're gonna bring 2 legacy decks,
Yeah.
and I told you I'm just gonna play whichever you don't play.
Yeah, cool. That was the easy
Now we gotta
decision.
figure it out. Now actually I have my ambition back. Okay, cool, awesome.
I could have ranked Delver, but like, yeah. Actually, I think I lent half it away. Anyway, Dungeon Stompy is really good. I think you'll enjoy it as well. It's cool. It's a Stompy deck, but it doesn't have too many lockout pieces. Like it has Chalice and Thalia. It's annoying and stuff, but like it's actually very interactive, as we talked about last time.
Right?
It hits face. You play your Seasoned Dungeoneer, and your opponent's like, "Oh, it's just a 3/4," and then you attack for like 20 next turn.
For 20, okay. We'll see about that. But yeah, I think we should we like cut it here and then record something about how our day actually went. We can actually do this in sequence. So now we're doing like 35 minutes. So maybe we just do something after a tournament, like 10 minutes afterwards.
Yeah,
and
cool.
then, yeah, like a recap exactly, and
that.
then we like keep going over the entire weekend and we add onto it. So that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, guys. So this was our pre-team thing. Over the weekend, maybe if we get like snippets, we can add in how each day went or something. If not, we're gonna plan to do Monday morning. We'll do like a recap. But yeah, we'll see you guys after the events. And so basically, these two are hoping for even records.
Positive records.
Positive record.
We have
team positive record.
Team Thalia.
Help me, guys.
Honestly,
Help
like the thing is, like a positive record would actually be almost top 8, right? 4-2.
We can go 3-2-1.
3-2-1.
Believe.
Team 3-2-1. Hey, here we go. Top 32, awesome. Top half of the deck. Okay, yeah. We make it work. Okay, we'll be back after the tournament, and yeah, we'll see whether you know what? I'm actually pretty positive. I'm gonna carry you guys.
Wow, calling it now.
Cool.
Yeah,
Okay.
easy.
Hold it.
Okay.
All right.
See you later.
Smell you later.
Whoa, okay, I get dizzy. We just fast forwarded to Monday night after the entire madness that went down the weekend. Callum, Kai, and I have all arrived home by now. Guys, how are you feeling? I think, Kai, you literally just got home and you told us you were sprinting from the airport to make it to the apartment.
Yeah, dude. Obviously, there was like a delay on the flight, and I had to catch up with you guys for the podcast, so I had to run. Boy's really sweaty.
Oh yeah, tell us more. Is this like the physical equivalent of ASMR, where you like literally you tell us like what your body's like? Okay, let's not go there.
Pretty much so. But I was gonna say, like, I was like so excited the whole weekend that I was like the sweatiest boy, like, for like the longest time. So it was so good, but also very exhausting. A lot of emotions and just like a lot of things at the same time. So pretty tense.
Yeah, Callum, how are you doing?
Yeah, feeling like a bit tired of it all now, but I was just buzzing all day yesterday, especially. It was just, I don't know, 10 rounds. I thought it was going to be long, but just kind of flew through it, and I could have done 10 more. It was just great.
I feel exactly the same, dude.
Yeah. Now I definitely feel like, when I got back a couple of hours ago, and I kind of like thought, do I power nap or do I not? So I had a power nap. So I feel a little bit better now. But yeah, yesterday was just buzzing from the whole weekend. So I feel great, like just tired, but feel great after such an amazing weekend.
Yeah, dude, how many hours of sleep did you actually get? I mean, you probably got a little bit more than I did. I went to bed at like 2:30 and then had to get up at like 6 or something in the morning. And yeah, this is the whole day. This feels like a fever dream.
We were playing in the lobby till about 3:34, I think.
Dude.
Because we didn't have enough magic during the day.
Yeah, as if it was not enough magic.
Yeah.
Literally, you have this tournament, like probably the biggest tournament of the year for you, which is 10 rounds. And then you come home after dinner and you're like, you know what I want to do? I want to play 6 more hours of, more like 4 more hours of Legacy.
Yeah, exactly, basically.
Or it's like, guys, like, do we want to do like something really crazy? Just play a few more games.
It wasn't even a thing we had to be like say. We just got back and just carry on playing in the lobby. It's just
that's how it works, right?
Yeah.
Most of the time, just you can even count on it, right? There's going to be like tons of people just continuing the tournament on their own.
This Legacy format's pretty fun. I don't know if you knew.
Yeah, did you actually play? Because it seemed like while I was still there, you were mostly like consulting people on how to play Painter.
Yeah, so the gist of it was
the entire lobby by the end of that wanted to play Painter, like me including.
Yeah, so I was lending my deck to mostly Niv Shmuli's Trunks online. He was borrowing it. He was like, okay, first time playing Painter, so I was walking him through some things, and he was testing against Rodrigo on the Red White Initiative. And my boy, Chaos Defiler, I think he went like 6-1 in games just because Defiler destroys the deck.
This is my favorite part, by the way. I mean, I'm guilty of that. We had this big tournament, and all we talk about is the lobby games to start it up. That's always the best part, right?
We had some great conversations as well, catching up with the French guy. I don't know his real name, but MTG Oni or something. He was telling me about all his progress with the initiative deck from before it came online as well. And he was talking with Rodrigo as well about how to build it, what they think was coming next and stuff. And I mean, there was just like a bunch of people there playing. There's like 3 or 4 matches going on, so we're all just talking about the format, the results, and just jamming as well.
And speaking of results, should we actually like start where we left off on Friday? On Friday morning, we left you hanging pretty much. We told you, hey, we're going to play the Team Trees event. Kai was on Vintage Doomsday. Callum was on Legacy Painter, and I played. I kept calling it Blue Red Delver until I learned there's no Delver in the deck, which I learned the morning of the tournament.
That's not even correct. Like
No,
Painter was not in our team. Like it was mono white, dude.
See how much attention I actually played to what was going on in the other tables.
It's like he's like one thing. I don't think we had a lot of communication between the games because like everyone was basically just like doing their thing.
Julian kept asking me questions, and I was the worst teammate. I was like, I don't know, dude. It looks okay.
Yeah, but I was like constantly feeding you only like half of the information. I remember in one spot I was like, Callum, do you think I should attack here? And you were like, yeah, sure, attack here. And then I lost on the crackback.
Yeah.
And then you were like, wait, what was your life total? I thought it was like 12. And I'm like, no, it was a 3. It's like,
oh my god.
I was gonna say like it looked really solid until the last round. Like so for everyone, like we hadn't been in for the top 8. It was the last round. Wow. And I just saw Julian getting paired against with Blue Red Murktide against Hammer Time for the very first time, and I know how difficult that matchup is, or like how complicated, because it's like it's almost like a Legacy, let's say like a Delver deck against like an Infect deck of some sort, right? And I was real nervous and like just didn't feel great about it, and because there's like so many traps, man, in Modern. Zigardo's 8 is a bitch.
It certainly didn't help that I was up against Emanuele Estrati, who's the winner of the very first Modern Pro Tour back in 2011 with Splinter Twin.
Oh yeah.
But actually he was actually like kind of nice to play against, I gotta say. But you know when you come to a table and the other guy's playing complicated deck, and you can tell that they're like super comfortable in every kind of decision. I still won the second game on the back of, I believe, Black Moon. I think Black Moon completely destroyed him there. But yeah, the third game kind of close. I had to play like super conservatively all the time because I knew he had Hammer in hand. Do I play Bobble, guys? Do you play Bobble? I guess I play Bobble. No,
you do, yeah.
I do, yeah. That's why I knew I had Hammer in hand. Okay, so I constantly played like super conservatively, and he just like wrecked me with all the other equipment, all the other stuff in hand, and I constantly had to keep. By the way, the best card in Modern apparently Counterspell. I also only learned about that during the tournament. But
God, yeah. At the beginning, you were like, "Do you play? Why do you play Counterspell in this deck?" It's like it's really good in Modern.
yeah, but to my credit, I played it to a 3-1 finish. The one unintentional draw that was like in the very first round. And Callum, you remember, right? I turned to you, I think, like 4 minutes into the game. I told you, I think this is gonna be a draw.
That is completely accurate. It was like 3 turns into game 1. You said this is gonna be a draw.
Yeah, it's just like you sometimes really get the feel. And part of me is also like me not being very experienced, and also the opponent being very deliberate. And then on top of that, you also have like the team aspect where people like try to figure something out, and then eventually you pass back, and then the other team is trying to figure something out. And that's just like, I literally knew after like the first couple of minutes, this is, unless somebody gets stomped, this is so gonna be a draw. And yeah, it happened. But yeah, I mean, that way, Kai, you mentioned called it like a win-in for top 8. I also initially called it that, but Callum actually looked into it, and I think after the dust had settled, if we had won the last round, we would have pretty surely been 9th place. So our opponents in the last round, they actually made it into top 8 by beating us. But they also had better tiebreakers.
Oh, that's good. So like they kind of made us feel better, right?
Did they? I don't know.
I mean, because like like just finishing 9th is that's a thing, right? On the same time, we also had more time to drink some beers. So,
actually, the venue was so good. Like I totally underestimated how good the venue was gonna be. Also, I feel really bad for basically the 2 or 3 people behind the bar who had like to constantly operate it for like 12 hours or something, even longer, like for 16 hours or something.
Cheers to them working. They were so friendly the whole time and just absolutely constantly busy, like for 10 plus hours in the day, I expect.
Yeah, except for the one guy who kept overcharging Kai.
Yeah, right.
Every beer was more expensive for Kai than for Callum.
Context here: I got a beer. It was €4, and then Kai's right behind me, gets a beer and gets charged €5.
I was like, that's even for Italian standards, like that's kind of pricey, no? And it's like, look at Callum's, dude.
It was different people that served us, so I think he might have just been like, "Oh, grumpy non-Italians can pay more," or he just didn't know. But it was quite funny.
No, he just knew that I was Japanese and I just have a good income. Which I don't.
You say it's like the Japanese extra tax that you have to pay?
Dude, there's probably like a lot of overtime, work.
But despite not getting a result for the teams, my feeling was like we're playing and just having a blast. Like, I wasn't try-harding. I definitely made some mistakes that cost games, but like we were being really chatty and friendly with all our opponents, I think, and just enjoying being at the venue for the first day and seeing people and just having fun. So winning or not,
you weren't try-harding. Like I felt like I was constantly driving with like my windshield like being broken and like covered in snow, and I could barely look out. I was like constantly trying to operate the stack in this unknown format. Like, Callum, should I counterspell this game-winning threat? Like, yes, okay.
Some of the questions you asked were easier.
I loved it. What was the stupidest question I asked?
I don't know. It was just like seeing you play that first round. It was against the Black Red Scam, or like the Black Red Undying deck. Mm-hmm. I just knew that it's like easy to walk into those things, and how many they play and which ones depends on the situation and stuff. So yeah, you can walk into that kind of stuff. But
you kept warning me about Fury, and I totally didn't respect Fury because I have just like no respect for Fury. It's just like I love the card so much, but the modern I felt like he's not gonna have it. And I think at one time he actually had it, so that wasn't that good for me. But yeah, that was cool. That was the team event. We got something like 70 something teams, right? We ended up playing 7 rounds. We ended up going, by the way, our final record was it like 3-1?
No, it was 3-2-1.
Oh,
and
3-2-1.
And I remember
we called it, right?
Yeah, dude. And like we called for a positive record. That's all we did.
Yes.
And we got it by the thinnest of margins. Yeah, you're right. Actually, we got like 60 teams. We barely only played 6 rounds. So we got 3-2-1. And if you remember correctly, Kai actually called for this, right? All he wants was a positive record for the day.
Dude, I was happy.
So was I. Guys, what did you actually do after the tournament on Friday? I don't remember. Was that when
we stayed in the
pizza?
venue? Yeah, we ordered. It was quite a common thing, I think, just everyone ordering takeaway pizza into the venue. Again, so the venue was large and it had like multiple rooms. So the main room where the modern main event was, the teams was on Friday, and then the modern main event. Then there was a separate one for the ELM and Legacy side event and Vintage. And it's like I think it's a government-funded building where like people can come and play games. So they had, it was where actually the ELM was a bowling kind of alley. And there was a lot of older people playing card games and stuff. And it was more of like a kind of community center than hiring out a big venue hall. And so, again, like all the people working at the bar were super friendly. The atmosphere there was just lovely as well. The food was good, I think, for especially venue food. And yeah, that's the setting, I guess. But yeah, so we just stayed there and was a big group of like 20-ish of us just drinking and having pizza.
Yeah, by the way, shout outs to Luke. Help me out, Callum. What's Luke's last name?
K.
Just K?
Yeah, K-A-Y.
Okay. Luke K, who actually organized the pizza distribution. I remember we were just like talking to some Italians, and we were like, hey, where do you get the pizza from? They're like, this app and that. So we looked into it, and initially we only wanted to order like 4 pizzas, and then people walked over, can you make it 5? Can you make it 6? I think by the end of it we ordered like 14. And Luke was so close to ordering the pizzas, and it said like, it's gonna be delivered by 11:30. And it was like, I don't know, it was 11 in the evening. We're like, okay, that's gonna work. So he was so close to pressing the button, and then one of the Italians was like, no, stop it, please. And it would have been delivered the very next day on 11:30.
Yeah, there's a big warning. Big warning saying, careful, we're closed. It'll be delivered tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. So
in Italian,
good catch.
And we were like, sure, just like bring it right through the tournament. So yeah, we ordered for a different place, and dude, that guy was amazing. He even brought us like a big bottle of Fanta and stuff. Like, yeah, we celebrated the Pizza Theory guy so much.
It was great.
Actually, yeah, we really hung out like deep into the night. You mentioned that place. It's kind of cool. We don't have something like that in Germany at all. And I think it was Nicolo who explained that to me, that this is like something like the left-wing parties in Italy used to drive back then, where you want to have like a place for mostly like old people to hang out and just like have a good time. And that, I guess they were like, okay, Eternal Tournament, that qualifies as old people, so we're gonna have you as well. That's okay.
Oh, like Friday night they were playing a huge bingo in the
the
ELM
European
hall.
Bingo Masters.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, dude, that's exactly how I see myself in 40 years, you know. Just retire from Magic, play bingo. But probably like talk shit about like bingo meta games, man. Me.
Bingo. Do you have like, is there any agency in bingo at all?
No, dude, it's completely random.
I mean, there's probably gonna be people who have like a podcast about bingo, and they tell you, oh, there is some agency. If you sit this way, then they're gonna give you the better pattern or something. Like, yeah, okay,
dude,
sure.
that's exactly us in 40 years. I'm just saying.
Oh, so wait for everyday eternal episode number 20,700 something. Okay, I'm very bad with numbers. It's just okay.
Bingo.
Here we go. No, but that bingo tournament was huge. It filled out the entire hall. Where on the next day the ELM was actually taking place, and I want to say there were a couple hundred people on there, right?
Yeah, I think so.
And it was like pretty strict. Like you couldn't even walk in there, and like I spotted a couple of people who looked pretty spikish, and yeah, I wonder who actually won it.
I don't know how you could tell.
How can you spike bingo, dude? Just like,
I mean, you just look at them and they have that PTQ grounder look in you. You know, this just.
This is like a lot of 60, 70-year-old Italians doing bingo. Julian's spotting the spikes in there, though.
I bet she won. I'm pretty sure that she won.
Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, that was Friday. For me, like all the days pretty much blur together. So what happened on Saturday? Saturday was the ELM, the European Legacy Masters. By the way, once again, shout outs to everybody involved. That I couldn't even start to like call out all the people who made it work. Callum, who are like the main organizers behind it, help me out.
So it came from like Nicolo and Samu and the Four Seasons team. And then when Luke and Sahar, who are like UK reps, but also do tons of work behind the scenes, we're also starting instigating it. I know Tom DeDecker's been a huge force behind it as well. I don't want to name too many because I might just then start forgetting them. But I know that group is a huge force behind it, essentially. But with the help of many others as well. But those, as far as I know, like the main people that drove like the organization and everything in the background and creating the hype, as Sahar is so good at creating hype. And
very much, yeah.
And
there's so many people also like all doing all that volunteer work, even behind the scenes. You know, on Saturday and Sunday, we even went behind the scenes to the coverage area and did some coverage. And there's literally so many people, especially Runko, right? I saw Runko sitting there basically all weekend long and running coverage and like organizing stuff. So that was like super inspiring to the point where I even considered like maybe future tournaments I just like want to do full coverage, like not even play the tournament. I don't know. It's just like I had such a good time. Not so much in the actual ELM itself. And for those tuning in and don't know what the ELM is, your ELM is basically, we can call it like the European Legacy Championship, right? You qualified through your local event, or like this year, some countries also had votes. And then you represented your country and you played for the title of the European Legacy Master, that is.
Totally.
Yeah.
I mean, this was like the best of the best, really. Like, just playing, like, we'll run through how we all did in a second, but like every single person there was just a crusher. Like, looking around at everyone playing, every single person is going to give you an absolutely the toughest game. So yeah, dude.
At some table, I sat down and literally the three people around me had all won a Legacy GP. There was Rodrigo Togoras, Mark Vogt, and Claudio Bonani. And I'm like, dude, this is like, I'm the small fish between these. And I'm like, dude, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but for that one, I think we played 7 rounds, right? It was
7 rounds, yeah.
Yeah, that was the one 70 something players.
So how did you do? Because basically, as we alluded to in the first half of the episode, I lent you Dungeon Stompy.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, and you also submitted my deck list for me because I was like,
Yes.
Right. Yeah, maybe you want to start with that. You haven't like that's like this the second day where you have not looked at the deck before playing it.
Yeah.
yeah, actually, that's true. Oh my God, I promise you, I was not half-assing this. I literally could have stayed in Kenya for 2 or 3 weeks longer, but I decided to come here because I really wanted to do this. So, I mean, yeah, I didn't have the best kind of preparation, unfortunately, but yeah, I had Callum, and Callum submitted my deck list, and I think we based it on XJ's list, right? I think it was almost the same list that XJ was playing the initiative. Stumpy, I think you recommended going to 4 Cavern of Souls and only 3 City of Traitors, which is something I did. And I think that was pretty much it.
Pretty much, yeah. Like the mono white one has converged to being, like this list, but we made some more changes, and I still think the deck is not like in its final form at all. Like, there's tons of things you can try and change. So
yeah, definitely. So I sat down with this, and I literally hadn't even played a practice game. I played against it on Magic Online, like at the day I came back from Kenya and had organized everything while editing the podcast. I played 2 matches against it with Painter. Got my first feel for a deck, but overall, I did horribly in the ELM. I went 1-3 drop. Wasn't the best showing. I kept complaining about like bad mana and like things just like not working out for me. And actually, I kind of managed to fix that by the next day. Not necessarily by changing the deck all that much, even though we made some changes, but changing my strategic approach. But in the ELM, I think I managed to beat Dredge in the first round. I lost against the Epic Gamble I lost against the Epic Gamble in the first round, beat Dredge in the second round, and then lost to Delver twice, I believe, in the third and fourth round. At which point I dropped and decided, hey, you know what? Let's just like do some coverage. And then I went behind the scenes and I think I did like commentary for 1 or 2 rounds. That was amazing. Absolutely amazing. I did it with, I think with Marco Male, one of the rounds. Mm-hmm. And then I mostly just like watched, did some content. I really want to bring out some kind of like vlog or music video style summary about the entire event. Did lots of footage. Like I actually dread looking at my camera to see like how much footage I took. I think I took like something like 3, 4, 5 hours of video footage. It's gonna be crazy. But yeah, then I cheer for you guys because you guys did a lot better than I did in that tournament. So why don't we continue with Callum? Callum, what did you play and how did it go for you?
Yeah, so I played Painter. Going into it, I knew I was 100% locked to play Painter because my idea of this event was.
I thought we were going to say locked for top 8.
No, God no.
Easy.
Because my thing for this is a lot of the players like have a deck they're known for or like some expectations for that. A lot of them are also just very good and bounce between the best decks a lot of the time. So we saw a lot of initiative, but I knew I was locked for Painter because 1, it's what I love playing. 2, I genuinely think it's great. And so, like, I had access to Stumpy and you'd asked to borrow Painter instead, but I was like, no, I'm doing this. So submitted pretty normal mono red. The only recent addition is Phyrexian Dragon Engine, which is incredible in the deck. But I didn't do great. I went 3-4, but I'm sure if I look back, there was some changes I could make. I definitely, again, just really tough opponents. I lost to Stefan Schultz on Blue Red Delver and also Guillaume Salvador Arnel on Blue Red Delver. So my confidence about Delver was a bit low after the day, but I will here on Sunday. I kind of got that back a bit. But then, I mean, round 1, I was against Peter van der Ham on White Initiative and managed to squeak that out. So super tight round 1, and I got the win. So I was feeling a bit good, like if I can beat a great player like him on a great deck, then, we'll see how it goes. But, as I said, 3-4, not the result I was looking for, but also wasn't disappointed at all. I was just chuffed to be playing in the event. Every single opponent was friendly, easy to talk with. It was just everyone was there having a good time. So it was like I didn't feel like I had pressure on me to really perform great because it was just the experience as well. And if you do well, amazing. Like that's the best thing. But I just enjoyed my time there, and I would absolutely run Painter back. And
as you did the very next day, right?
Yes. So we'll talk about Sunday, which. Yeah,
exactly.
But as I said, 3-4. Going into the last round, I was really hoping to go positive, actually. But as it goes.
I mean, this is the absolute crusher of the crusher tournaments, and I guess that guy who came back from Kenya. But yeah, that's the like. Yeah, I really love that he played it out till the end because I almost felt a little bit guilty dropping from the tournament because it's just like such a big deal. But then again, like just doing the coverage and doing the other kind of stuff, I think in the
Yeah.
end, overall, like community-wise, that was more worth it than trying to like get a better result or something.
It
That-
absolutely
but-
makes sense if you're going to do the coverage. Like, I'd already made up my mind. I would play every single round, even if I went 0-7. I was gonna stick it out. But you were great on coverage. I got a lot of feedback saying it was good. And then
Oh, you did
Off-
awesome. I didn't get any feedback yet, but
Yeah, no, I did.
Cool.
And then I joined you. I just like finished playing and got some beers from the bar, and then Nico comes over. Callum, come and do some commentary. So it's like, great, let's do it.
Yeah,
So
we
I
did the
came on.
quarterfinals together, right?
Yeah, so then we did the quarterfinals and did some chit chat, and it was just great fun. So I am so motivated to try and qualify for next year. So I don't mind
Hell
traveling to qualifiers, whatever it takes. So
Yeah,
I'll
I
be
think a
doing
lot
that.
of people are going to be all about that. And this time I will actually have to qualify. I think we still haven't figured out how it's going to work in Germany. But at the very least, this is at least probably going to create some kind of system here where my big dream is still to have like some kind of German nationals again, because we haven't had that for like 11 years.
that'd be so
That's-
cool.
yeah.
But one of us did quite well. Kai, how did you do?
Well, mostly, right? Except for, okay, we get into that in a moment. But Kai, tell us, how was your tournament?
I think it was not only me, but a lot of people were mainly like curious, I think, like the whole day on the ELM, because it is not the typical stereotype, just like tons and tons of like just like more than 100, 200 players and then prizes and whatnot. But it was like a somewhat like an invitational kind of type of event, and with a lot of hype around it for the first time, with coverage and whatnot. And I think there was a lot of people just kind of didn't know what they signed up for, including myself. So I've been I was really curious and the whole day, but also not that spiky, or like I didn't really had that like spike thing in mind. I was kind of casual about it. And it's how I don't want to sound too cocky or anything, but like I want to say like most of the time when you don't really expect anything, you do really well. Like that's at least for me. But in addition, you also got to be a freaking luck sack like I was, because I started with the bye. Dude, there was like the one room. Yeah, dude, one guy had to,
Is that how you
had to
top
be
it?
it.
Okay,
So
sure.
You know it's an omen then.
yeah, dude. Like, at that point, I kind of knew something's up, So and like again, like a lot of people would have maybe like scouted some tables, but I was just too lazy, really. Like I just got like a cappuccino instead, and
I love it.
So I had a good time. I had a lot of good chatter, because most of the people I have met in like 6+ years or something like that, because I spent so much time in Japan. And a lot of people also I met for the first time. It's like a lot of conversation going on, like between the rounds. And
I'm always surprised how many of the Italians you actually know. Like, I know a lot of people in Italy, but you and Callum as well, you know even more. Like, sometimes as you talk to somebody, I'm like, oh yeah, that's that guy and that guy. I'm like, dude, I've been playing like tournaments forever, and I have no idea who that
Right.
is. Like,
yeah, and our Italian sucks, so
There you go.
But yeah, it's I after that I faced a lot of different decks. I don't think I faced the same deck twice. So I played against Mono Black Stompy. Kind of surprised to see Lorenzo Tassone being on Mono Black Stompy,
Oh,
because
you
he's
shouldn't
like
be.
he's mostly like a Delva player,
oh, you shouldn't be.
right? Like, but like I mean, so he told me that he picked up Mono Black Stompy, like the main board opposition agent, Shield Red, Hello
Rotting
Hello
Regisaur.
Obedience. Yeah,
No,
yeah,
they
dude,
don't
yeah,
play that,
that
though.
jazz.
I've been pushing Dinosaur Stompy for that.
Oh, Dinosaur Stompy. There we go. Okay. Because so they told me that this deck has a somewhat positive matchup against Mono White, because Mono White has to do combat damage in order to win, and Mono Black does not. Right? They can also combo off with Helm.
Yeah, so their list, I know that him and the rest of the Wood team have been working on it ages. Another one of them made top 16 in the Sunday event. And they don't play Rotting Regisaur, they don't play that many creatures, but they play Leyline and Helm and
Oh,
Karns.
they cut the dinosaur from the deck.
Yeah.
Think
Then they
so,
should
yeah.
call it even more Dinosaur Stompy, like Dragon Stompy.
Yeah.
No dragons there.
But
Okay, so it's kind of hard to foresee, like what's happening, but they probably all have the Dark Ritual in common, I think, right? Like Dark
Yeah,
Ritual,
yeah,
which
so
is
they-
like a bunch of stuff.
I mean, they must be a tough matchup for you if they have Dark Ritual and Opposition Agent. But I guess it's
Didn't you
if they
actually go
draw it or
literally
not.
turn one opposition agent?
They can if it resolves, but you know what? It never resolves. That's the thing, right? So
Yeah.
I never let it resolve.
That's
we
just
had
good play.
we exchanged some quick games here and there. I lost to. So here, spoiler alert: during the whole weekend, I won all non-Delver matchups, and I lost all Delver matchups. Okay, good. Just to like underline how shitty the Delver matchup is. Thank you so much. All right, so I lost against Delver, and then follow up with a couple of wins against Painter, Mono Black Helm again. Actually, the second one was like not really focused on creatures all that much. I think it was rather like a ensnaring bridge planeswalker type of like Mono Black deck, as far as I remember. But maybe I just saw the wrong half of the deck. And
no,
then
that deck that Tarzona plays usually doesn't play Ensnaring Bridge, as far as I know.
Oh, doesn't.
So that might have been a different like thing, yeah.
All right, there you go. And then I had the craziest winning in against the man Andrea Mengucci. So I was already sweating, like as if I was not sweating enough. So I sit down, and we just talk about like winning in and haha and funny and and then the judge approaches us and goes like, "Hey, you guys, deck check." And I was like, "Dude, I mean, whatever." Just go ahead, right? And
you literally look at the deck at the judge and you're like, dude, whatever.
Whatever, dude. Just please.
I like to imagine you actually said that.
I was real chill about it, and then we just kept talking. Watched Rodrigo Togores was playing another winning in, I think, at next to us with his crazy Boros deck. And after 5 minutes or so, like the judge came back but only holding a single deck box, and like I saw that, I was like, dude, that's kind of odd, right? He gave the deck box to Mengucci, and then he said, Salvatarix, could you just follow me? And I knew, I knew something. I knew I saw some shit, some shit went up, and yeah, I had to go to the judge station. They showed me the deck list. I submitted the night before, which is, again, you should never do that.
You even tell us about this, right? In the podcast, you always say, oh, no, I submit my deck list and then I make no changes and I can just chill. And you did the night before, like, as you were sleepy in your hotel room?
I did the night before, while you guys were eating pizza. No, you guys didn't even eat pizza. Okay, well, but, yes. So, I submitted a deck list, including a single underground sea and 4 watery graves.
Nice.
Dude,
like
is this a new tech? Is this how you do it? Dude, I remember that
round. Shadows.
It's kind of funny because for that round, we were in the booth and we were like, okay, whom should we feature? Who should be on coverage? And everybody in the booth was like, okay, we're going to do Andrea against Kai. This is the match we're going to put on coverage. Please get them and put them to coverage table. And then somebody came back and it somehow didn't work out, so they picked somebody else. So I would guess, had we picked you for the feature match area, I think you might have not gotten a deck check. I don't know, because it would have delayed the stream and would have been bad. I don't know.
If the deck check hack happened on camera, I would have pissed my pants, really, like seriously.
Okay, and here we are, Kai, down again.
So there I was, like looking at this like terrible written. It was not even like written. It was like typed out deck list. And like all the 3 judges at the table, dude, they had a good laughter, right? Like they were like just because it is like a really stupid mistake, really.
And the idea of the judge is actually mocking you.
Yeah, it's kind of like a just really stupid but kind of lovely mistake. I think
it's such an obvious mistake though. Like at least it's not an extra 1 card different where it could be conveyed as cheating or something.
Right.
This is so obviously just a mess up.
Yeah. And then like one of the judges went like, "So are you interested in getting 3 more watery graves for the event?" And it's like, dude, hell no, hell no. Like as if I'm not doing enough damage to myself already. Like I even play like what's it called, the Spoils of the Vault in the sideboard to just not happening. Well they changed the list. Gave me a game loss against Andrea Mengucci, the ultimate end boss, in a winning in for the first ELM ever.
I think Andrea's like the all-time money leader in Magic, I believe. Just like, you couldn't have like picked much of a harder opponent there.
And maybe I should also add that I've never ever played against Andrea Mengucci before in my life. Like,
I guess a lot of people haven't.
Okay, well, but it's like I just want to say like it all came together, like in a movie almost. Like it all came together as if everything was planned.
I'm pretty sure I actually have those that match that you guys played afterwards on camera, so it might be available somewhere down the line.
Oh hell yeah, dude! Because the games The games were actually like real games. I was obviously like when something like this happens to you, you kind of emotionally down already. You know, just refocused. I knew that I was up against 8cast, and 8cast is like a 8 Force of Will Chalice of the Void deck, which doesn't sound really pretty if you're on a Doomsday seat, but they also don't have a fast clock. Maybe that's like good to know for the future. And that's exactly what happened in both games. And Andrea did have a little bit of like resistance with the with Chalice of the Void and Force of Negation, Force of Will, but long story short, I was able to punch through both games and lock my seat in the top 8.
Hell yes.
That was pretty insane.
I mean, top 8ing this event is just so cool for me. I just chuff for you.
Oh yeah. Dude, absolutely. Especially because like it was for the first time. There were like a lot of like sponsors involved in this event, like 341 and In Response podcast, and I bet a few more, which I haven't even mentioned yet. But a lot just big thank you to like all the people involved in this thing. Got like a nice, lovely playmat, like a water bottle, just like some dice, pens, like a lot of like this, it's kind of like supplementary stuff,
and really good bragging rights.
Oh yeah, dude, because I think like my biggest flex is that I beat Andrea Mengucci on with a game loss.
You actually like also like mulligan down to 5 or 6 in one of the deciding games.
To 6, yeah.
To 6,
yeah.
Okay, yeah. I like how we like build up the scenario of like, oh my god, we're up against one of the best players in the world, money leader. We have a game loss. It's like such an important tournament. And then Kai's like, and then we just won the next 2 matches. I won the next 2 games, and that was it. And I got the playmat, and it was amazing. Like,
Andrea, if you're listening to this, I love you, man. Yeah, it was really good magic. Doomsday's I was just doing Doomsday. I'm sorry.
It was so cool. Remember when you played the Chalice in 1, you played Brainstorm Response and literally gave you Cable Ritual and Doomsday?
Oh,
I was standing behind you, I was like,
I felt like I was
there.
like the biggest luck sack ever.
But wasn't there one moment that you told me about where if he had played Chalice on 2 instead of 1 where he could have done it, you would have literally like lost the game then and there?
Yeah, there was a spot. I mean, Andrea maybe didn't know because there is the Cavern of Souls, potentially. Yeah. But what he didn't know is that I sided out Cavern of Souls post-sideboard. Post-combat.
Here's another game that's waiting for you.
Because not a lot of 8-cast players play Chalice of the Void X2. First of all, they don't always have the mana for it. And B, most of them just assume that there is still the Cavern of Souls in the deck. Well, I sided it out, and I didn't get punished. Andrea could have played a Chalice of the Void X2, I think, in game number 3, which would have, won him the whole round, but that didn't happen.
It's a hard call to make, right?
Yeah, dude, it's pretty. I don't know. I wouldn't do it either. It's just too risky. I think.
One is usually so much better because there's not that many 2s apart from the Oracle, and then like I guess 1 2 Cabal Ritual.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I did Cabal Rituals and.
Yeah, because you're
I guess you can't daze anymore.
True.
Oh shit.
Oh man, dude, I love the piles that you built. By the way, there, like we talked about that, right? I looked at the piles and it was just like the most straightforward. Just like cycle through my entire thing and play the Oracle and win the game.
I'm just here to tell you guys. Look, I've been playing a bunch of Doomsday, but I'm at a point where I am back to making like boo boo BB Gaga piles. Really, like
is that the official term?
Yeah, dude. It's like dude, I was really making like baby piles within like 20 seconds or 30 seconds.
The truth is like there's usually the piles of 3 cards and 2 cards that don't matter, right?
Yeah, there can be. Always just keep in mind that there is removal in the format. So like if you can empty the pile, you should. But a lot of times I see a lot of Doomsday players just like going for like just super like giga mind piles where like okay, I guess I can play around this and that and then Mind Break Trap and Surgical and Double Wasteland and blah 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 blah, and I'm like, dude, why don't we just chill and do something easy,
I love it.
Do you do Doomsday coaching? Is that how you tell people like, dude, chill out?
That's exactly how I coach people. It's like, dude,
that's amazing.
Just chill.
So yeah, from there, Callum and I went on. We cast the quarterfinals. Callum, do you remember which matchup we cast? I'm trying to.
It was Mark Eric Vogt, right?
Yeah, it was Mark on 4 color versus Rodrigo on Red White Initiative.
Damn.
Yeah, it was really
actually we casted that. I don't
We
even
did.
remember. Rodrigo won, right? Yeah, Mark went out, right? I cast Mark twice. That weekend he lost both times.
How did that go?
Well, the first time he played against Black Red Reanimator, somewhere in the Swiss, and he literally cast a single spell in the entire match.
So brutal. Imagine being on feature and that happening is just
Yeah, it's also like pretty bad for the coverage when you like try to come up with stuff. It's just like, and there's a brainstorm and now he lost. Oh, he lost again. Okay, thank you guys. Please tune in for the next round. Blah 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 blah. No, actually, we had some good filler content. That was kind of cool. Also, once again, coverage. Holy shit! Like you sit down there. And then they start handing you drinks. You feel like you're traveling in first class or business class? Not that I've ever done that, but I imagine how that's it on an airplane. You sit down and literally somebody came over. Hey, do you want anything to drink? Do you want anything to eat? Like, ooh, like I ate like half a pizza there. just during that Red Black Reanimator match.
Yeah, peak hospitality then.
Within 2 minutes or a minute of me sitting down for my like kind of impromptu joining you to do coverage, I was handed a beer, another drink, a sandwich. Just I mean, we said at the beginning, but the crew at Four Seasons is just the hospitality, the friendliness, but also the event was run really well. I just can't speak highly enough of Four Seasons. It was incredible.
Very much. I've actually been missing out by not going during previous years.
Yeah, absolutely. I think anyone listening that's been on the fence, like the feedback I'm seeing on like Twitter and people talking and word of mouth and stuff is just this weekend was so incredible. So if you're on the fence about coming next ones, you should. It'll be March 3rd, 4th, and 5th.
Cool. So now that we have the top 8 established, actually let's quickly just go over who made top 8 and what they were playing. So we got from France Marco Vera Gonzalez on Reanimator. We got from Italy Daniele Terra on Cephalid Breakfast. From Spain Alberto Manchado, that's Baku 91, right?
Yep.
On Blue Red Delver. Oh, we got this guy, Kai Savatari on Doomsday.
He's probably a nerd.
And then we got I think that's Slovakia, right? Oh my god, I'm so bad.
It is,
Slovenia and Slovakia. Okay, this is the Slovakian flag. We got Eric Santo on Cephalid Breakfast yet again, and Samuel Sahorak on White Initiative. And we got repeat top 8er Mark-Eric Vogt from Germany on Four Color Control against Rodrigo Togoris, White Initiative. Like your casual top 8 Grand Prix winner mirror match. Like, you got that every day in Legacy, right? So, Kai, how did your match against Baku 91 go? Baku, probably the most prolific diver player in Europe, if not in the world right now. He won literally 3 Legacy challenges in a row. That's just
that is crazy. I did not know. Until after the event, I did not know that it was him. I gotta say, like, if I knew, I would have maybe taken like even more mulligans, maybe. But yeah,
just really something would factor in.
Because like the matchup is so bad that like sometimes it is actually okay to go down to like 5 or 4 and just hope for like land Dark Witchel Doomsday with days back up or something like that, and that can carry you all the way. But instead, I kept like somewhat like decent hands, but like not the super overpowered hands, and they were just not good enough. We had good games though, like a lot of good chatter. He's a good guy, not too like stubborn or like whatever, like just like result oriented. He was actually a pretty
he
cool,
seems really laid
cool
back
guy to play with. Yeah.
And you went all the way to game 3, right? It was
we
like,
did.
Despite like it being your worst matchup, it still felt like super close in the end.
Absolutely. So yeah, we split like the first 2 games. I gotta say, like I'm always kind of when Delver takes like the first game, because that's the game where they also have like dead cards like Unholy Heat, for example, or some other nonsense. I really gotta like take the game 1, which didn't happen. Took the game 2 in with a very quick Doomsday, followed up with Edge of Autumns. Can't stress enough how good Edge of Autumns are versus Delver, because not only do they like quote unquote counter Wasteland, they also just cycle through the deck without any life loss, and you can't Pyroblast it. You can't, like, Delver cannot interact with Edge of Autumn, which is amazing. And then game 3, I stripped his whole hand. I had like a triple dress hand with not a lot of action, but since I was like, while I was like dressing Baku like constantly, I happened to draw both Doomsday and Dark Ritual, and so it happened like in a game spot where he only had 2 fetch lands, a gigantic Murktide Regent and another like Delver, 10 points of damage, and I had the kills like somewhat, but I needed him to not draw a counter for 1 turn, and I could have played around force, around days, but I was really worried about like a top deck brainstorm or like expressive iteration or pyroblast, and pyroblast happened. That was the very last Delva reveal, and that just kicked me out of the tournament.
Oh, was it like you needed him to miss, and then he reveals the pyroblast to the Delva, and you're kind of screwed then?
Yeah, pretty much.
So it wasn't like you go for it, and then he had the pyroblast that he top decked.
No. Like I had to do a same turn kill because if there's a Murktide Regent, you cannot under any circumstance cast Doomsday and pass turn. Like that's simply suicide. Yeah. So I was hoping, like I knew that I'm gonna draw a draw spell, which can then enable the same turn kill, but I needed my opponent to not draw any interaction. Lightning Bolt would have also been lethal, but yeah, Pyroblast happened, and that's how the cookie crumbled sometimes.
But as you said, top decking this event is just so good.
Yeah.
So.
Because looking at this top 8, is like quote unquote somewhat soft to Doomsday.
Yeah, dude, I was just looking at it. Like your semifinals would have been against Reanimator, which I guess is.
I got ley lines, I got 8 forces, daisies, it's all there.
And the final against White Initiative Stampede, it could have would have been. By in German we say hätte Fahrradkette. I won't even try to translate that. But it's still top 8. It's like a super good result here.
Just really quick comment on because I got this question a lot during the weekend. How is the mono white in the matchup against Doomsday? From the Doomsday perspective, it is decent. It's not the best in the world, but it is positive.
You know what the crazy part for me is? Like, you can actually win through Aven Mindsense if you have Oracle in hand, right?
You can, yeah.
Yeah, it even helps you out in a way.
I mean, you still gotta like use cards from your graveyard too, so
Oh yeah, I guess.
Yeah, you gotta go up to like 5 cards. But yeah, they got very limited interaction on, especially on turn 1. So if you keep like a cantrip low hand, like a lot of fast mana,
it's gonna help you out a lot.
I guess. Definitely. And one advice: use Force of Negation to counter Lotus Petals, please. Just it feels terrible, I know, but you gotta do it because otherwise they go Cavern into Thalia or some shit like that.
From playing the other side, like as bad as Force of Negation on a Chrome Mox Lotus Petal feels, there's a lot of hands where you're like, I hope they don't force this Chrome Mox. So yeah.
Same for me. I didn't play the deck nearly as much as you, but especially like in the main event, I so often led with a Lotus Petal because I didn't want to reveal the cavern, and I felt like, dude, I really hope they're not gonna force a fill this because I'm screwed because I literally have to pass like at least for a turn. It's just because I was like counting on the initiative, then giving me the basic land that I will then need later on. I'm like, dude, if they counter this Lotus Petal, like this entire hand like completely crumbles.
It's really weird, yeah. But true, totally true.
Super annoying. So in the end, finals was Marco Vera Gonçalves. Dude, I'm so bad at pronouncing on Reanimator. I'm sorry, Marco, but you actually ended up, I don't know, being run up versus Samuel Zahorak from Slovakia on White Initiative. And that was also a pretty interesting match, right? I think Reanimator actually stole the initiative on the very first turn. I didn't get to see the match, but I heard about it.
Yeah, the gist of it was, I think they believed they at least both, Reanimator at least Mulligan, they might have both, but they turn 1 discard and took a White Plume Adventurer with an Animate Dead, if I remember correctly, and took the initiative and started doing the initiative stuff. And I think it boiled down to he forgot that it gives it Pseudo Vigilance and untaps. So I don't remember what exactly the relevant interaction was. Maybe it's a racing thing, but missing the untap cost game 3 at some point.
Yeah, somebody told me it's not as clear cut as most people are saying. Like it's not like, oh, threw away the game. But allegedly it would have like potentially enabled a lot more alternative outs there.
Yeah, it helped. I mean, the White Initiative deck is it's built to play to the board and stuff. So I can totally see that even without that, like it doesn't actually get there in the end. Imagine that it's so fast. Imagine they hit the last room and just find a Grizzlebrand off that.
Like a 10-10 Grizzlebrand with hexproof until the next is sure.
Actually, though, I do remember game 3 a Containment Priest being in play, so that wouldn't have worked.
Oh, the one. Okay. Yeah. But I still love the idea.
Thief of Hope, but the idea was there.
Cool. So yeah, I guess that was Friday. Oh, dude, we still have so much. No, that was Saturday. Okay, we're very deeper than I thought. And then just as it happens, Sunday is it like the biggest European Legacy event ever since the GP? Like we had 400 80 players. I saw it like in the last. I was gonna call it like an estimate. Like we were like waiting for estimates about like the big count of players. No, I think somebody posted about like it was 480 players.
Yeah. It was around
Massive,
480.
massive.
It might have been
In
a
the
couple
Legacy
of them.
main event. Holy shit.
Yeah, like that's so many. I was really hoping to hit 500 because it sounds cooler, but regardless, it was so many. Like, I
But you
think
still like we had pretty good space to play, right? It was like not super cramped or something.
Yeah.
And once again, the venue was huge. Absolutely huge.
I was concerned that it would be like too many people and spilling over into funny areas and stuff, different rooms. But no, it was just all contained in their main room one hall.
No, it actually wasn't.
No, fine. Okay.
As the guy who lost the first round, I can tell you there was another round. There was another place.
Sorry, I never went into the loser's room. Sorry.
Yeah, you never went to the loser's dungeon. I went to the loser's dungeon in the second round.
Okay. I didn't realize that.
Dude, that's like where I spent like majority of the time on Sunday. So
Oh, did you?
Okay. Sorry, guys, I couldn't see you. That's why we weren't hanging out.
Okay, so let's actually start from bottom to top this time. Kai, how did your how did your event go?
So it was so Sunday was the absolute shit show. It the story continues. I lost all matches versus Delva and beat all non-Delva decks. I started the day with against Manuel Drudi, who is like one of the top Delva players from Italy. First time playing against him. He's also on Magic Online.
Easy Money Marksman Online.
Oh yeah,
that's it.
Yeah.
Think
Absolute
so,
crusher.
I think so. Yeah. Oh, it was a nightmare. Like the moment I saw the name, and then the pairings, I was like, dude, I'm so there today. And that happened. I think I was lucky enough to at least get game 2, I believe. But it was like the other 2 games were like not even close, right? So got stomped on, but cool guy. We had a lot of good talk in between. And so I started with 0-1. Already in the losers bracket, played against Mono White Initiative and Black Red Reanimator. Scrolled a little up to like 2-1, and then again I got stomped on by another Delver. This time it was Rock Delver though, with Stifled, Spell Pierce, and Tarmogoyf, dude. It was
Straight
Matteo.
up Tarmogoyf.
Yeah, dude. It was Matteo Blasi from Italy, also another fantastic Delver player.
He ends up coming 9th on Breakers.
I was gonna say, like, you played against. Okay.
Yeah,
you went that far down.
He was insane because he also lost the first round and they just kept winning until the very last round where he ID'd, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and he ID'd into 9th place. But that's we're gonna get to that because that was also like kind of interesting.
Yeah, it was like an absolute incredible game because he went like Wooded Foothills Go. I played a land, say go. He went like Misty Rainforest Go. And in my head, I was like, what deck does go Wooded Foothills and Misty Rainforest Go without any place?
I gotta stop you there. You should have immediately known that Stifle.
Wooded Foothills is like
Wooded Foothills
maybe
is like-
Painter, 99% Stifle rugged over.
Yeah.
I know, right? I mean, that would have been
5 years ago.
us like a few years back. Well, I like in my head,
like a decade ago, more like.
who can possibly play Stifle in 2022? And like I got like so punished for it because I could have waited, but for some reason I put him like on a rock control deck, which is not even a real archetype.
I lost it in the first round, but sure.
Oh yeah, dude, I lost to like Spell Pierces left and right, and Stifles and Wastelands, and it was like
It sounds like a nightmare matchup.
It was a big mess. Yes, because Cavern of Souls does not help me versus Stifles. That's like another thing I have to like overcome. So I'm at a point where I'm not even trying to beat a Stifle tempo deck because it's just too much. So it was like a super quick round 0-2, and I then decided, as I was on 2-2, I decided to drop because I wanted to like. I felt like I played a lot of Magic already this weekend, and I wanted to just talk to more people, and I happened to join the coverage team too for round number 5. Did with Lorenzo Tassone. Also got a lot of like cappuccinos and ice cream and whatever they had in the back, just like tons and tons of stuff. It was a really good hangout, man. I love Italians. I don't know why, but they got something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like Callum mentioned, hospitality is just like through the roof. So what did you actually do afterwards? After you dropped, I think you mentioned you wanted to go into town or something.
I did. Yeah, for a bit. Found out that in Italy, most restaurants don't open before 7 p.m.
Okay.
So it's
It's kinda rough.
just keep that in mind, everyone, because I was like, I was out with a small group, and we did not find a good place in time, so we just kept walking. It was still good though. Yeah,
I think a lot of the country shuts on Sunday as well.
Oh yeah, that was
Italy is like an entire month, right? Basically shuts down. I think it's August. I remember, like, when you go to Italy in August, basically everything is shut down for a month, and then like everybody comes back in September.
Yeah, pretty much.
Maybe I'm somewhat over dramatizing it, but I think that's how it works in Italy.
Maybe that was just like super long siesta. I don't know.
Cool.
Yeah.
So, Callum. No, actually, no. I'm next in line, right? Callum, you do better than I did.
I mean, yeah, you can.
Yeah. So I played White Initiative Stumpy again. I think the only change was that I took out the Spellbinders and put in the Archon of Emeria, which performed amazingly. Dude, I'm so in love with that card. It literally stole so many games. But I started out by losing the very first round to some rugged DRC mid-range control deck that's, just like had my number. Then at some point I was actually 1 and 2 in the entire thing, and now you wonder, like, how did I do better than Kai? Well, I almost didn't lose from there. I almost won out. I ended up at 7 and 3, played against a bunch of different decks, even a Tinfin's deck that sideboarded into Doomsday, which totally got me. In the very last round, even managed to beat Alluran. So I finished at 7 and 3 because my tiebreakers were horrible. I think I was in 60th place, where like the 21 pointers went all the way up to, I want to say, like 24. But yeah, if you lose the first round and the third round, your tiebreakers are going to be shit.
Yeah,
definitely tell.
That's
but
a great
good time.
1-2 to 7-3 is really good. And as you alluded to, you kind of realised that you probably weren't mulligan enough with the deck on Saturday and in the morning.
Yeah, we talked about that, right? But I kept telling you, like, I was kind of unhappy, and I really I dramatically increased even the number of mulligans. And I think one of the things somebody mentioned is like, yeah, if you mulligan, but you get a turn 1 White Bloom, that's just like already +1 card again, because you get the planes, and you often need the planes, because I mean, we are playing a bunch of like 3 and 4 drops. This is like all the mana we want in the world. And I literally halfway through the tournament, or like a third through the tournament, I literally started increasing my mulligans a lot. I remember in round 5. I won 2-0 against Stelva. Or was it 2-1? Actually, all my notes are wrong. I think I won 2-1 against Stelva. And over the 3 games, I took a combined 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mulligans.
Damn. Nice. What?
But I got there. Like, I think I won on a mulligan to 5 and another one that like went really low. This is, I guess I don't want to be the guy to tell you how to play the deck, because I've only played 2 tournaments with it thus far. But I really, really, really got the hang of it in the second part of the tournament. And
it's like trusting the power of the deck. You need to know that it can win on 5 and be like looking for the right things. Yeah,
I also did the thing against certain decks. Like combo decks. No, that's actually a bad advice. I did it against Tinfin's. I sided out a copy of White Bloom Adventurer, because I had just like so like I think I brought like 13 sideboard cards into it, and I was like, I at this point I don't even know what to cut anymore, so I literally cut a White Bloom Adventurer, because Dragon Stompy, no, what's it called? Season Dungeoneer. Season Dungeoneer is just insane, absolutely insane. Dude, I love this. In the very last round, there were 2 people playing next to me, as they do, I guess, and it was White Initiative against Death and Taxes. And the Death and Taxes guy somehow, despite playing 10 rounds, had never seen White Initiative before. So some people just like play casually. They don't follow like the scene or something. They just like show up to the tournament with the deck and they play, and I mean, that's fine. It was just like so funny, because the White Initiative guy tried to explain the mechanic to him, and then he gave him the Undercity, and he was like, what, why, what is this? This is like Dungeons and Dragons and stuff. And then somebody said, oh, this is basically kind of like Monarch, and he was like, what is Monarch? Oh, dude, I loved it. And then as the game progressed and he got attacked by like Seasoned Dungeoneer and stuff, he was like, he literally picked up the card and shows it to me. He's like, what is this card? The fuck? This is amazing. People, that being said, by the way, I missed so many fucking stupid dungeon triggers over the weekend. It's not even funny. This is just like, if you ever play the deck, like if you haven't played the deck before and you're picking it up for the first time, the worst is when you hit the final dungeon and you get the dungeon stomp. I keep calling it Seasoned Dungeoneer, and you put it into play and you're like happy for like, yeah, okay, and then you go to the next dungeon, of course, because it gives you initiative again. Like, that's one thing I missed so often. When I have the initiative and I play an initiative creature, I still go further down the dungeon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's one of the hardest parts about playing the deck is, I mean, I think the mulligan decisions are very hard. and sequencing is actually hard as well. But then, yeah, keeping track of everything is very tricky. You've got a lot of triggers, a lot of things to keep track of as well. It's one of the hardest parts of it, really.
You know what my favorite part was? That the thing that's often caught opponents by surprise, somehow that I didn't miss. When you attack with a bunch of creatures and you have Thalia, then you do the first strike damage, you move further down the dungeon, and then you get to put 2 counters on a creature before the regular damage. It's like, dude, I love that so much.
The real tag.
Really cheeky.
Cool. So yeah, 7-3 for me. Considering that I think I messed up quite greatly early on, I'm actually super happy about that result.
Yeah, I would be. Definitely, it's a really good rally.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it turns out Callum actually one-upped me and did even better. Callum, you played Painter again, right? How did the tournament go for you? And tell us about all your secret tags.
But I played an even more fun version of Painter than Saturday, which it was like a little bit of a gamble, but it was also the perfect testing ground to try some different things. So I finished 8-2, which no top 8, but I finished 14th. So pretty happy with 8-2. It was, again, tough tournament, especially the later rounds. I played against some very good players. So the list was roughly the same that you see in Mono Red. Like, I wasn't playing Khans or Bridge or anything like that, but I was playing 3 Chaos Defilers. So I can't remember now if we mentioned that in our first half of like hyping things up. But if anyone that doesn't know, it's one of the Warhammer 40,000 cards, and it's 3 black red, so 5 banner for a 5/4 trample, and it's an artifact demon construct, I think. And when it enters the battlefield or dies, you essentially get to vindicate something, and it doesn't target, so you could even kill like a Mother of Runes or a True Name Nemesis or a Progenitus. So the obvious synergy there is with Goblin Welder, right? So Goblin Welder or Goblin Engineer can sack it, so you'll get to kill something, and then Goblin Welder can weld it back in. So it's really nice when you have the hands of like Welder into Engineer and then bring it in. But it's a 5-drop, and so my thing with my big philosophy part of playing Painter is I don't think you want any of these big bombs, because a lot of the time the cheaper cards to get are powerful enough when you have Welders and Goblins going anyway to carry the game. So I was just like, it's a 5 drops, but whatever. So I originally was going to play 1. Then I thought, no, let's play 2 just because I draw it more often and see. And then on Saturday I was quite drunk, so submitted a 3rd. So, and
it's like, how did you come up with this amazing technology? Oh, it's just drunk. I just a third one for good measure.
And normal people would be like, you know what, Delver's a good deck. You need lightning bolts for it. But I just cut the 2 lightning bolts in my deck because I think they'd be really boring. So
I love this kind of style of deck building. Oh, this kind of boring. I want the 5-drop instead. Give me the 5-drop.
This was exactly my rationale. So here we go. So yes, as I said, I finished 8-2. Quick run through of my matchups. I started with a nice 2-0 win against Jeskai Control. That's a really nice matchup. 2-0 against the Epic Gamble. It's a guy called Hampe, friend of the cast. He's from Sweden. Shout out to him. I felt like I kind of stole it a little bit. He had a slower hand game 1 where he had like a kind of relay for 4 or 5, but I was able to like Fury a Bergie and then have blasts for echoes and stuff. I had like a Simeon Spirit Guide blast on an echo, and then I got to like combo turn 3 or something. And then game 2, he had like a defense grid to stop. He was very on the ball and knew that I play like Mindbait traps and everything like that, and for blasts. But I had a Thorn of Amethyst, which is a new addition to the deck, so it completely won that game for me. Third round was another 2-0 against Acast. Acast is a pretty nice matchup for Painter. You can usually just combo them pretty quickly. Round 4, unfortunately, we had a team kill, but not in the good way for me. Played against Francis Cowper, who's a friend from London. He ended up top 8ing, so I lost 1-2 to him. He was on Cephala Breakfast, so again, another amazing result for Cephala Breakfast this weekend. We had really good games. Game 3, I just kept a bad 7, and we discussed it afterwards. And so, you know what, he played really well. He mulliganed to 5, and I kept a bad 7, and I was rightfully punished. Round 5 was another 2 against Acast. Round 6 was a 2-1 against 4-color Stoneblade. This is where we had some crazy Defiler stuff going on. Game 3, I'm facing down like a Minsk and Boo on a bunch of counters, a Boo with 3 counters, a Jitte, a Batterskull, an Ice Fang, and 2 Stoneforge Mystics or something. And I have 3 Welders in play and a Pithing Needle. And I draw an Engineer. Actually, I had the Engineer already, sorry, but the following turn, he had left up 2 mana, and I just smelt Dress Down from a million miles away. So I played a Fury as bait, which the Fury would have been good on the board as well, but it was definitely bait to get it out so I could play Engineer next turn. And he did have the dress down, so I got to just have Fury in play and countered. And I got to follow up with Engineer for Defiler. And I think I killed the Boo, the Minsk and Boo, the Battleskull, the Jitte, and then he kind of took a draw and conceded. So it went crazy. So I absolutely lose that game without that. And I think I'd used the Defiler a couple of times before.
But every time I came to your table, you've been using your defilers like all over the place. I got a couple of videos of you doing like just defiling people left and right.
Yeah.
Is that the official term?
Yeah, defiling, definitely. And
what do you do in your free time? Oh, I like to go to Italy and drink beer and defile people. Like, okay, interesting guy.
Hashtag defiler. And then I hit the Delver bracket. So my last 4 matches were against Delver. So, who needs lightning bolts to kill Dragon Ray shells when you have 5 drops? So I got a 2-0 win.
Subscribe to our Patreon.
Yeah, exactly. I got a 2-0 win into an 0-2 loss against the eventual winner, the guy first off the Swiss. And then I got another 2-1 win into a 2-0 win. So I was pretty happy with that because, as I said, after ELM and taking 2 losses to Delver in that event, it like shook my confidence because I'm still overall positive versus it, but I think it's pretty close. And basically, it depends on pilot level. I think if the pilots are both kind of middly, then Painter can have an edge. But if the Delver pilots are good, I feel like Painter can be slightly behind or even. And so, again, kiting the bolts and playing 5 drops, I was really not confident. But Defiler actually was just great. A bunch of times I cast it and killed Murktides and then welded it out and killed other things. And then they have to kill every single goblin. So that was cool. But the absolute MVP of the whole event, but especially against all the Delver opponents, was Phyrexian Dragon Engine, which is another new card.
What does it do?
So this is a 3-mana artifact creature. It's a 2/2 with double strike. And when it enters the battlefield from a graveyard, you discard your hand and draw 3 cards, and it also has Unearth for 3 red.
Oh, it's just 4 mana?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's 5 again? This is like, dude, what is with you and 5 drops?
Well, so it's a 3-drop to play, but you don't usually want to play it. You usually engineer for it. But what is so good about it is, so before this, the Goblin Engineer would usually search for Brayer's Apprentice against Delver or any of the grindy matchups. And they do have to kind of kill the goblins, but they can take a turn or 2, or they can find an opening to swords the Brayers, and it stops your advantage engine. With Dragon Engine, they just have to kill the goblins on sight, because if not, because Painter has a lot of fast mana, you can play out your cards pretty quickly, and then it just turns into draw 3 cards. And then if they don't deal with the goblin again, you draw 3 cards the next turn. So you're drawing 4 cards a turn if they don't deal with it. So everyone basically dealt with the goblins. I got to do... Actually, in one of the games against Delver, I got to search for it with Engineer. They didn't have the answer. So they bring it in with my Engineer, discard Defiler to the trigger, and then weld in the Defiler as well. It was just all the fun shenanigans.
Is this the point at where we should just literally bring in Leyline of the Void against Painter? Because just you're all about the graveyard at this point. You're more graveyard-centric than Dredge.
But not really, though. That's the beauty of it, because I cast Defiler half the time, and they kill the Leyline.
Yeah, I guess your opponents are so busy early on killing all the goblins and stuff and not running their own board all that much, and you just sit there and eventually you get to 5 mana. Or I guess you also just that's my favorite part about Painter all the time is when you just go turn 1 Saga. And you initiate the beatdown, and they're struggling. I mean, Wasteland sets you up for failure, I guess. But yeah, it's just the beauty of Painter is all these different kind of approaches. And like you mentioned, right? Yeah, Leyline would be annoying for certain hands, but then again, you've got so many other things you can do. It plays such good Magic, and it's such a blast to play. And I guess it also makes the game really annoying for the opponent because they don't really know what's going on. And yeah, this is just why I love the deck so much.
Yeah, all my Delver opponents had really expressive facial expressions during the games of like pain and anguish and really struggling to work out what to do. Shout out to all of them. All my opponents were lovely the whole day, but there was definitely like some points where I played against a guy who I know he had 2 Brotherhood's Ends, which is like deal 3 damage to all creatures or destroy all artifacts with mana cost 3 or less. And I managed to like just play a very slow game and answer his threats, and he would like cast it to kill his Dragon Rage Channeler and my Fable and an Engineer, and then I was like slow rolling another Engineer. I play that and he Hydro Blasts it, and then I follow up with a Fable, and just it was a really cool game because it was tons of just the sequencing to play around what he had was quite important and stuff. But yeah, so then the Dragon Engine, what happens in the games is the goblins die. If they don't, you just draw tons of cards and it's great. But that only happened once, but then you unearth it. And what I got to do a couple of times was unearth it after I have a Kiki Jiki as well. So I got to like unearth it and then Kiki copy it, so you draw 6 cards in the turn.
That is obscene.
Yeah.
Yeah, do it. Sure.
So what these
Let me
two new
restock my
additions
hand.
do is just make the goblins like 10 times more threatening. Before they were great, and they still died on sight before, but now they're threatening to either draw 3 cards or like just vindicate every permanent the opponent has. So yeah, I was massively impressed. Like both of them, the Dragon Engine a little bit less so. I played one league prior to submitting it for ELM and then the Sunday. And the first league, I was just like, wow, instant staple. So that card is incredible in the deck. And Defiler was like, I played 3 matches with it at my local a few weeks ago and played 2 painter mirrors. And so it was good there. But otherwise, it was really untested. But
Yeah, but it's not a Magic Online right now, right?
No.
That's the thing.
exactly. So it's really hard to test. So I had no idea. So, and then I convinced Jasper, my friend, to play it as well. He ended 7-3 and was also playing 2 Defilers. And it was just amazing for him as well. He said he won so many games, which a normal painter just could not win without that card. So,
You
yeah.
had one of those like especially crazy games that I put on camera where I think you in a single you were behind on board, and then in a single turn you completely annihilated everything on the other side of the board, and it just like won the match from there.
Yeah, that was the Stoneblade one I mentioned, I think.
Oh, that's about that one. Sorry.
Yeah. But yeah,
I thought it was like happening all the time.
it just killed everything. Just crazy. And it's a 5/4 trample.
I take it, especially against initiative. Trample, nice. And
Exactly,
cool.
exactly.
I was gonna say, so would you say that you killed more players with the combo or with just pure beatdown?
Oh, pure beatdown for sure. I think I comboed you do combo, but it's more like I probably comboed a bit over a third of my games and then beat down. It's probably like beat down a bit over half, and then it's close though. And it's you get to win with beatdown because people have to interact with the combo you threaten. So they're constantly having to bolt the goblins because they're threatening it, or like they have to hold up removal for the painter because you have like a saga coming off and stuff, which means your like fable tokens or a hardcast fury or whatever are just attacking in. And so it's the sum of its parts, right? So if they interact with the beatdown thing, very often I sandbag grindstones and painters very often, and then they reuse 4 or 5 removal spells on your other stuff, and then you just play it and kill them, or vice versa. So it all feeds into this one big engine of you react to how your opponent's having to react, and then you just win whichever way suits.
I mean, that's a good way to put it, right? You might not win with the combo, but you win because of the threat of the combo, or And spoiler alert: somebody else actually made top 8 with Painter, Cheston Chinari. I am actually
Hell
number 1
yes.
from the US. He came over to
boy.
play in this tournament. He really says he doesn't know. I mean, he probably knows an okay amount about Legacy, but he's very much the go-to vintage guy. He borrowed the deck from Tom the Decker, and he went all the way to the top 8. And he afterwards told us, I think he only literally combo killed the opponent 3 or 4 times during the entire tournament in 10 rounds.
Yeah, he also he hadn't played it before this and then just crushed. It's amazing. But he has a ton of like experience with goblins and painter and vintage and stuff, so he absolutely knows how the deck works. But so it was so cool to see him top 8, both because he's awesome and painter.
Yeah, cool. So you mentioned you got which place? 14th?
Yeah, 14th. Good for some prizes.
Top
Good for
16,
some-
sweet.
Yeah, top 16 is very cool. I was really happy with it. So my losses were to the guy that finished top of the Swiss and to Francis, who also top 8'd.
Oh, yeah.
So
Congrats, my boy.
yeah, congrats,
Oh,
Francis.
that's how you got the good tiebreakers? Oh, yeah.
yeah, exactly. Because there was a bunch of 8-2s going down from 16. So, but yeah.
So should we actually quickly go over which decks ended up in the top 8? I think we don't have all the names right now. I'm pretty sure 4 Seasons are gonna post like everything in the days coming up. But yeah, we have the winner, Lorenzo Ranoccia on Blue Red Diver. And other than him, there were a bunch more people in the top 8. So from the top of my head, you already mentioned Francis, right? On Non-Yorian Cephalid Breakfast. We have Justin Gennari on Painter. And then we got Shadow in the top 8. Okay, that's surprising.
So Shadow is Marco Montani, who's MM17 online. He's
All these names. Wow.
Yeah, he's also had like he's won 2 challenges in a row this year, and
That's
like
a thing, right?
yeah, he had very cool tech. So in this list, he was telling me about it. He played 3 Baleful Strix as both kind of to help with Delver and a bit of a Mirror Breaker, but Delver Mirror Breaker, and it's very good against initiative to like fly and attack back and take the initiative.
Is he on that Water team the Italians have?
No, I don't think so.
Because I played against another one of their guys, and he also played Blue Black Shadow, and he also had Baleful Strix.
They probably are friends and talk together, I'm sure.
They might be, yeah.
Yeah, but I just thought that was a very simple but really clever meta read, and he got paid off for it. So that's cool.
Cool. So then we have a Dungeon Stompy deck in there. We have Breakfast and Painter we already accounted for. We have somebody playing Jeskai Control, the most hated deck of the podcast.
So I saw Jeskai Control and I thought, how can Jeskai Control top 8? I don't know the player, but then I kind of like looked into the deck list and he seems to be I saw some comments about him being a very, very strong, prolific player. And I believe he has 4 dress downs, which probably helps with a bunch of just random matchups that Jeskai is weak to. Because I know as Painter, it's maybe the best matchup for it. But with 4 dress downs, I can see it going another way. It's very good.
It's also kind of decent versus Mono White Initiative, isn't it?
Exactly, yeah. He beat 2 Cephalo Breakfasts on the way to top 18 as well, I know.
Ooh.
So...
And speaking of Cephalo Breakfast, and speaking of Jeskai Control, by the way, quick shout out to Angelo Kadai, who, after 5 rounds, was still undefeated, but already had 2 draws, playing Jeskai Control with literally 2 win conditions over the entire 75. I think one of them was Shark Typhoon, and the other one, I think, was a Planeswalker, I don't remember. And that's literally all he had in the entire 75. So, like, we look at it in, like, the 5th round, and he's literally, like, 3-0-2. And he was so close to getting another draw, like, to make it.
And then he's out of the draw bracket.
Oh, yeah, true. Yeah. Actually, that's how you get yourself out again. Like, the old 6-0-3 to make day 2 at the GP. I've seen it.
Yeah. Slight correction. I found the list. He played 3 dress downs, 2 main, 1 side, but still, yeah. Yeah.
Cool. So actually, we had 2 Cephalid Breakfasts in the top 8 on for the main event.
For ELM we had 2, and for the main event we had 1.
Oh, I skipped too long, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay, so for the main event, we just fill out the top 8 with 3 more Blue Red.
That's guys. Pretty crazy, right? I think there was also Severance Vaz. What's his surname again? You know,
Severance Schwarzhuber, the Eternal Surprise Patreon.
Yeah, he ended 7-3, but he was like 6-1. I think maybe even 6-0 at some point. He's had a really good start and kind of lost 1 or 2, I think, to Delver maybe at the end. We were chatting about it. But he was playing a slightly different version as well. There was also another Cephalid Breakfast at the top tables I saw. So I think the deck had a really incredibly strong weekend. So people watch out for this deck. I think it has a good initiative matchup.
Yeah, I guess the only reason people don't really pick it up is just like because the creatures feel so weird on their own. But from what we have seen over the last, I want to say like half year or even more, like Cephalid Breakfast is like very much upper tier 2 and at times like maybe even more. I don't know.
I think it's high tier 2 right now for sure, and really, really underrated and very strong. The list that Francis has played, I think this is my favorite. It's like got no vials, but it's just like you can kill turn 2 and he plays 4 days 4 Force of Will. Like,
he's not playing any vials?
No. This is like it's just trying to combo as fast as possible. So he plays 3 Teferis, if I remember correctly. And then he has like 3 Stone Forges with the Cauldron and then or Shuko to go and get. So Cauldron is just a really strong alternate plan, especially when you can like back it up with dazes and forces as well. And then he plays Sagas, which is just like 99% to go and get a Shuko. So very often you just go like turn 1 Saga, turn 2 Illusionist, turn 3 Win, or you can go turn 3 Illusionist. Again, with this protection of Teferi and dazes and forces. It's just a very compact kill, and it's actually quite hard to interact with, because even if you decide in Surgicals, it plays Step Through. Step Through is like a 5 mana sorcery, return 2 creatures through in his hand. He did actually cast it for the win, but what it does... Did? Yeah, I'll tell the story in a second. But it has Wizard Cycling for 2 mana. So you can just Wizard Cycle it and go and get Oracle. So if you have the combo, you can just go and get the Oracle into your hand, mill your library, and then cast Oracle from hand. So it's pretty good against Graveyard Hit as well.
You get to, okay, cool.
He had a really crazy game against like a red-white initiative deck where his opponent has like a massive Seasoned Dungeoneer. He's facing lethal next turn for sure. And his opponent has 2 Goblin blockers from Rabblemaster early in the game. And he's on 7 life. Francis has a Cauldron and a Stoneforge in play and 4 lands. And he goes end of turn, Violent Shuko, untap, play 5th land, equip Shuko onto the Cauldron, and then play cast Step Through to bounce the 2 blockers and attack for exactly 7.
Ooh, that is really flavorful. Yeah.
Really nice. Shuko getting it done.
Shuko's just like the best equipment in Legacy right now. Is it actually?
I mean, Bonesaw or Shuko is pretty close.
What, Bonesaw Suku?
Anyway, he also apparently he played Rodrigo for the win and be able to ID the last round, and he won by turn 2 cast a Narcomoeba and then it took the initiative, and then got 2-1-1 counters, and was like beat down with Narcomoeba.
Oh, so it's like the DIY Delver.
Exactly.
The fattest Narcomoeba to ever live.
We got Delver at home.
So funny. Yeah. Narcomoeba's just Delver at home. Really funny.
Oh, that's amazing. That's so cool, dude. This must just be so amazing to top eight one of these big events. The only thing that was kind of weird is like we didn't really play out the top eight, right? I mean, the prices were already like
So the price
set
is
up to
completely
be
flat.
equal for everybody.
The top 8 all got 1,000 euros flat.
And then I guess some small swag and stuff. And
Yeah.
the
but-
winner was based on actually the first person Swiss, right?
Yeah. So first place off Swiss. So I think it was a bit of a misunderstanding from the non-Italians. So like Francis
Yeah,
and Justin.
everybody I talked to like expected it to be like played
Yeah.
out. They were like really getting ready and like looking up the matchups and stuff.
Yeah, it'd also been 10 rounds, so I think some of them were just fine. But if this was the case, then like more of the players were incentivized to just play the last round rather than ID. But
Yeah.
But anyway, now we know. So my expectation of like what happened in the past, because the top 8s of this never played it out before. I thought it was all the players just agreeing and going for dinner, but I think it's they just make the flat prizes, so this is what it is. Which for me is a bit anticlimactic. But now I have my expectations in place, and regardless of this, like I'm not a fan of it. I will 100% go to this every time I can. It doesn't matter. 10 rounds is a lot anyway, so.
Yeah, and the way it worked is that what's his name again? Samuel Sakurak. He actually qualified for the next ELM, right? Because this was already, as they call it, like day one of the 2023 ELM. So he already got the first slot. He's gonna be there next time again.
No, it was the Delver player, Lorenzo
Oh
Ranocchia.
fuck! I looked at the ELM winners should also be qualified, right?
Maybe
I would think
They
so.
might be.
Maybe.
I'm
But
not sure.
Yeah,
I know,
you're right.
actually.
But Lorenzo actually won that one in the main event. I
Yeah,
got this
yeah.
all messed up here.
So
Dude,
good.
I gotta say, like, I was like feeling so much out of energy now after this like 4 days of just like utter action all the time, just amazing times. I actually can't wait to just like probably like sleep for 12 hours and then show up to work and be like, hey, I actually still exist, even though you haven't seen me for like a month.
Oh, I'm going to play some Magic Online after this.
I thought you were gonna say at work or something.
we have Tuesday Night Legacy in London tomorrow, and on the train
is
home we
Tuesday
were like,
tomorrow?
"Who's going?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'll go. Go after work."
Cool. What did we actually do? Oh, we went to that restaurant.
Oh
but they
yeah, we
already
went
had
to an
pizza
amazing
anymore.
restaurant. Oh, it was so nice.
They were like, the kitchen's closed, but we still have pizza. Like, okay, let's just like,
Yeah.
order all the pizzas. By the way, if you have a guide on how to order pizza and wines, please, we have a member of the podcast, Kaiser Vatari, who's very much in need of that.
Yeah, please.
Kai like committed the cardinal sin of ordering pizza in Italy, taking a bite, and sending it
Oh my
back. Like, what the fuck, dude?
Okay, so yeah, never ever order a pizza with mortadella on it. I just thought it's mozzarella because mozzarella is pretty delicious and mortadella isn't. It's like a weird ham, man. Like the moment it arrived, I was like, dude, I already want to like ship it, and it tastes like dog shit. Never order it. End of story.
Yeah, I mean, I call it the cardinal sin, but I guess the bigger sin was going to an English pub in Bologna.
I
and
never
ordering
go to an
pizza there.
English pub and order food. It's basically what I want to say.
Yeah, we should have stuck to like the people who actually know their way around here. Cool. But guys, is that gonna be it from us today? We Callum and I, we already talked about, right? We kind of want to do this again. You mentioned you might not be able to make it to the next 4 seasons, but there's even like a super amazing event in northern Spain, Galicia, in near La Coruña. Impact Returns. Runker told me about that. I've already been aware of it. But yeah, that's something I really want to do. I think it's going to be next summer, so I'm super excited for that. I've always wanted to go to that region. I've never really been there, and I also want to follow it up and go to Portugal and stuff. And like combining that with this is just the most amazing thing.
Yeah, I'd love to do that. I'm so the spirits up of like going out and traveling and playing Legacy again. This is
Oh, yeah,
like
be down.
just playing a big Legacy event. It's just unbeatable. I was, as I said, like just going through 10 rounds just was fine. I just was buzzing the whole time. Just couldn't wait to play more. Like I was even between the rounds. I was like just like kind of anxious, like but not anxious, not in a bad way. But like I was just ticking, wanting to play the next round and play more and more. So I'm going to try and come to the next 4 seasons. It's in 3rd, 4th, and 5th of March, but I have a family holiday starting on that weekend.
Wait, it's that weekend again? Oh,
But-
like why do they always keep tying it to when I go to Kenya?
Oh, is it really?
I guess I could play it and then right afterwards fly to Kenya.
My idea is it's family's going to France, so I'm going to try and miss the first 2 days, go to 4 seasons, and then go straight to France after.
Oh, that would work too.
See if they'll let me.
Awesome. By the way, one last big. But Kai, what are your plans? You're going to Japan,
Dude,
right?
I think I'm going. I
You're
can't
going? You're in?
I can't promise that I'm gonna be there like 4 times a year, but definitely like 2-3 times. I can definitely see that. It was a really good experience. I mean, like just being there for the first time myself. There's
It was your first one as well? It was your first.
Yeah, it was also
Awesome.
like the first time for me just to be in Bologna, like in that city. I've never been to Bologna. I missed that GP in 2019. Thought there's gonna be like a lot more GPs the following year anyway, so I'm gonna skip on that. Didn't happen. But yeah, I'm just super happy with the city. Just a lot of good food, good people, good magic. Yeah, dude.
Great time.
Let's
So
do it again.
definitely, if you're in Europe, or even like we had people from the US come over, right? Just like be there next time. It's totally going to be worth it. And Kai, by the way, you have been I can't speak tonight. Rehabilitated anymore. Anyway, you were playing that awful dredge deck we talked about. You remember?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we actually had
I don't want to talk
General
about it.
Jonathan Walsh actually like speak for you, because that deck actually I'm going to trust him on that. Third place the challenge, and even had a bunch of top 16 finishes. So this is not like this
Goodness.
random trash that somebody came up with and somehow got it posted. Like this is, I guess it's too early to call it established, but it's actually like it is a deck that more than one person plays and like does things. So
Okay,
maybe
so that's the official confirmation then. So Dredge's good, Kai sucks.
yeah, you just didn't know how to play it, Mr. Doomsday. Okay,
Uh-oh.
yeah. I just made the Goo Goo Biggie Gaga piles or whatever you called
Yeah.
them. Yeah,
I had a lot of boo boo gigi gaga keeps.
yeah, that deck is just like way beyond your reach as a player. Awesome. But yeah, I guess guys, I think that's gonna be it from us today. We once again went like double as long as we additionally planned, but this is all fine. So if you want to support the running of the podcast, once again, maybe leave a review on Apple Podcasts, give us 5 stars if you like it, or support us on patreon.com/everydayeternal. We got, at least I did, and I think you guys might have done as well, so many people just talking to us on the weekend, like, hey, I like your podcast. Like almost every third opponent was like, hey, I listened to your podcast, I like it, this is so fun. And that's just like the greatest, honestly. That's just, I absolutely loved it.
Yeah, shout out to everyone I met. I met so many nice people. I mean,
Thank you and arigato.
Yeah.
Cool. If you want to follow us on social media, that's at EternalMTG on Instagram and Twitter. If you want to follow me, that's at It's Julian23 on Twitter, and It's Julian on Twitch. People can find you where, guys?
It's Sawatarix on all social media platforms and sawatarix.com on my homepage.
and Callum Smith MTG on Twitter, just for me.
Awesome. So thank you. We also met a lot of our Patreons, and we want to give special shout outs as always to our Eternal Witness tier Patreons: Tommy Hinks, Testacular, Sebastian Hollager, Guillaume, Hanawa F, Sean Dewey, Francis Copa, top 8 in the main event, Cassandra Davis, Benedict Gruber, not top 8 but came pretty close, Severin Schwartz, who were the same, and our Grizzlebrand here: Victor Bernard, Bachi Butt, Scott Monroe, Jeremy Gates, Henrik Korkutz, Tom Hepp, Andrew Whitman, Kane, Ian Seefeld, Fritz Sternert, and Paragon Games in St. Louis. Once again, our Eternal Witness tier Patreons are actually outperforming Grizzlebrand tier ones in tournament results. So maybe there's really something to that. We will find out. We'll actually be back in, I don't know, like there's a showcase on the weekend, right? Where we're going to wait for the results of that. And I guess sometime mid-December, we actually have a lot of thoughts about the current metagame that we didn't touch on today. But yeah, we had some... Should we give like a sneak peek of your most important hot takes of the weekend? I think each one of you had one.
So I think Ancient Tomb is currently the best card in Legacy, which is, I don't know, it might not be surprising to like once you process it, but I think the format's just like, again, this is partly because of the initiative cards, of course, but I don't know, there's a lot of decks utilizing fast mana, its card advantage, its tempo, and I was watching people playing Ponder, and it just feels very slow.
I was just gonna say that. Let me add that.
That was Kai's hot take.
Yeah, dude. As Ancient Tomb rules, Ponder sucks. That's it.
Yeah. And
Cool. Yeah, we're going to touch more on that next time. And with that, signing off, finally getting at least a couple of hours of sleep. And yeah, see you guys again next time. Everybody have a great time. And for seasons, you fucking rock. Let's be
Ciao.
back soon.
Ciao.
See you. Ciao, ciao.